It is high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Jon Holder, Michael Short, Chad Barnett, our entire hardworking team here at After the Game. We're getting a late start tonight. It's 10:30 because we had a lot of storms in the Anniston-Oxford area, delaying the games by about an hour or so. So we delayed our broadcast until 10:30 tonight, but we have not an abbreviated broadcast. We're going to be with you all night long, giving you all the scores, highlights, information of all the games across East Alabama. We're coming to you live tonight from our Dad's Barbecue Top of the River Media Center at Parker Memorial Baptist Church on Quintard Avenue in Midtown Anniston. We've got all the final scores coming up. We'll keep you up to date throughout the night with our Alabama Teachers Credit Union bottom line. Look there for final scores throughout the night as well. Let's get things started now with our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard. Take you to the scoreboard tonight. Saxon Piedmont. I was at this game. We will have highlights of this game coming. This was one of the games affected by the weather tonight. About an hour delay actually out at Jack Stewart Field. In the second half, Piedmont leading Sax 27-13. We should have a final on that game very soon. And also the head coach of the Piedmont Bulldogs, Coach Jonathan Miller, will join us live in studio tonight right here on After the Game. Donahoe and Ragland, another game that my crew was at tonight at Lynch Field at Donahoe. Third quarter, it was Donahoe leading Ragland 14-7. We should have a final on that game. That game should be late in the fourth. Another game that was, quite frankly, affected by the weather. They had a big delay as well up at Lynchfield at Donahoe. And Donahoe leading Ragland 14-7 as they began the third quarter. The Ragland cheerleaders will be with us tonight. Oxford and Moody. This game is in the fourth quarter. Number 5 in 6A versus number 5 in 5A, playing at Lamar Field in Oxford. We will have highlights of this game. This was a game that was 17-14 Oxford in the fourth quarter. Oxford 17, Moody 14, still playing another game that had a lightning delay at Lamar Field in Oxford. This is a final tonight. This game was played over in Bluntsville at J.B. Pennington High School. Walter Welborn picks up a win in their first game of the year and also a region win in Class 3A Region 6 as Welborn wins at J.B. Pennington tonight 34-24. Another game affected by the lightning. Really not much rain at the stadiums. There was rain around the area, but not a lot of rain at the stadiums. Number 5 in 4A, Anniston hosting Beauregard tonight, coming up from Lee County. The first official game being played on the new turf there at Lott Mosby Memorial Stadium at Anniston. Very early on, Anniston had returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Anniston leading Beauregard 6-0. Haven't heard an update on that. We should have a final momentarily. This was our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week. Another huge game. Remember, Class 3A Region 6 is a 9-team region, so they're starting region play a week early. Tonight, Ohatchee, Locust Fork on the Creek Bank at Ohatchee, and it was Locust Fork beating Ohatchee by a score of 58-42. Another high-scoring game. We'll have complete highlights, post-game analysis, post-game interviews from the Creek Bank. Locust Fork beating Ohatchee 58-42. We'll also have highlights of this game tonight. Big battle out of Death Valley in Alexandria. This was a closer game for a while than the final score appears, but Jacksonville goes to 2-0. That big rival game. Alexandria, they beat the Valley Cubs. That's actually Alexandria's first loss of the year, 0-1, as Jacksonville beats Alexandria 49-21. 49-21. Jacksonville is a winner over Alexandria tonight. Still looking for a final score on Jacksonville Christian and Tabernacle. The Thunder and the Torches playing tonight up at Tommy Miller Field in Jacksonville. Still looking for a final score on that game tonight from Jacksonville. Again, both of those games a little bit affected by the weather tonight. Number 8 team in the state in Class 1A, Spring Garden tonight. They win at Pleasant Valley. Another impressive win for the Garden. Spring Garden wins at Pleasant Valley 34-12 tonight. Sardis and Cleburne County playing in Heflin tonight. Another game. This was actually the first game. A little weird tonight. The storms were moving from east to west in that easterly flow, and that meant that the games were being postponed as we moved east to west instead of west to east. The last report we had in the second half, Sardis was leading Cleburne County by a score of 20-7, not a final. Jacksonville Christian beats Tabernacle 43-22. We should have that for you up on the screen. That's a breaking score. Again, another game that was delayed by the weather tonight. Jacksonville Christian does win as JCA will now take their record to 2-1 as they beat Tabernacle. There's the final. Thank you. Great job by our crew here tonight. JCA beating Tabernacle 43-22. Woodland and Ranburn tonight. Still don't have a final score on that game. That game being played over at Sewell Field at Woodland. Big rival game. Those two schools only about 8 miles apart. Still looking for a final on that one. Central of Coosa tonight hosting Randolph County down in Hanover. Still looking for a final there. Hanley tonight traveling to Dadeville to take on the Tigers down in Tallapoosa County. Still looking for a final on that one. Let me tell you about this game right here. Number 2 and 1A Wadley tonight at home. This is a big rival game. Battle of Highway 22. They're playing tonight at Curtis Lynch Memorial Stadium in Wadley. It was 15-15 at one point. And then Wadley goes on a 47-0 run, and Wadley blows out Horseshoe Bend tonight, 62-15, the final. Central of Clay County and Ben Russell tonight. Huge game being played at Volunteer Stadium. Another game affected by the weather tonight. Lightning delays down in the Lineville-Ashland area. In the last score we had, Central of Clay County was leading Ben Russell 14-6. Clay Central, the number 3 team in the state in Class 5A, leading Ben Russell 14-6 there in the second half. Ranburn beats Woodland. We do have that final in. Ranburn beats Woodland. Guys, if you'll get that one prepared for us, Ranburn 23, Woodland 6. Ranburn 23, Woodland 6. There it is. There's the final scores. Ranburn beats Woodland tonight in that final game over at Sewell Field and then we've got another one coming your way as well, and that is Sylacauga and Montevallo playing tonight at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga. Still looking for a final on that game. Probably affected by the lightning down that way as the storms kind of stretch down to the south tonight. Vincent and B.B. Comer, not a final yet, but B.B. Comer was leading in this game in the first half by a score of 18-6. B.B. Comer was up 18-6 in the first half. Again, lightning probably a factor over at Vincent tonight. Billingsley and Fayetteville still looking for a final score on that game from over in Billingsley and Dallas County. Childersburg and Talladega tonight. Still looking for a final on that game from John Cox Stadium in Childersburg. Again, a game likely affected by lightning delays tonight down in southern Talladega County. Big rival game tonight. It's just gone final. Munford and Lincoln playing tonight at Munford Stadium. Munford beats the Lincoln Golden Bears 30-3, the final. Check out this score, folks. Tonight, Pete Rich Alumni Stadium in Pell City. 6A Pell City, who beat Pelham, another 6A school, by 4 touchdowns last week, taking on Coosa Christian, who in reality is a 1A school, a very small 1A school. They are a school that got bumped to 2A this year because of competitive balance and also because of the 1 to 1.35 private school ratio. Coosa Christian, the 2A, really a 1A, they go in and they beat Pell City tonight 17-7 at Pete Rich Alumni Stadium in Pell City. Clay Central, 7 minutes left in the game, leading Ben Russell 35-21. Again, that game was affected greatly by the lightning down in the Lineville-Ashland area. Here's a new final for you. Fairview tonight comes into Tiger Stadium in Springville. They beat the Tigers tonight 42-17. St. Clair County, they go to Montgomery taking on the number 2 team in the state, Montgomery Catholic, the defending Class 4A state champions. And Montgomery Catholic beat St. Clair County tonight 51-14. Big win for Sandrock. Coach Alan Heath and the Wildcats, you know, through the years, they have had their way with West End. They've now won 21 of the 26 all-time meetings as Sandrock gets West End again tonight up at Russell Jacobway Stadium in Sandrock. Sandrock 14, West End 8, the final. Cherokee County, after that loss last week to Piedmont, they bounced back on the road. Number 4 team in the state in 4A playing at Arab tonight. They beat the Arabia Knights 42-21. Last night, Galesville now 2-0. Galesville goes to Asbury. They beat the Rams last night 58-7. Tonight, Collinsville 1-0 sends Cedar Bluff to 0-2 as Collinsville routed Cedar Bluff tonight 42-0. Last night, we'll have complete highlights, a post-game interview that you do not want to miss for sure coming up with Hokes Bluff. Hokes Bluff beat Southside. That's the 4A beating the 6A. Hokes Bluff, a huge win over Southside last night at Coach Mike Robertson Stadium in Hokes Bluff. The Eagles win it 21-13. Complete highlights and post-game reaction. An emotional game tonight on both sidelines. We'll talk about this in depth tonight. Westbrook Christian, keep in mind this was a 3A Region 6 game coming into Wilson Darnell Field in Glencoe. Westbrook wins their first game of the year, and they're now 1-0 in region play as they beat Glencoe 35-10. We will have highlights of that game. As we said, a lot of emotion. We'll tell you why, if you don't know, in that game tonight. Emotion in a good way. A lot of sportsmanship, a lot of class by both teams tonight as Westbrook Christian beat Glencoe 35-10. Gadsden City had that big win last week over Muscle Shoals, but they run into the number 7 team in 7A, Hewitt-Trussville tonight down at Trussville, and it was not a good night for the Titans as Hewitt-Trussville routs Gadsden City by a score of 42-14 tonight. A lot of big statewide games. Number 8 team in 3A, Thomasville, knocks off the number 3 team in 1A, Sweetwater, tonight down at Thomasville, 48-6. Sweetwater wins the game over the, Thomasville wins the game over the Sweetwater Bulldogs. Staying down in that part of the country, that Highway 43 corridor, number 4 Leroy, two-time defending Class 1A state champions, beating number 9 in 2A Clark County out of Grove Hill. Leroy wins the game 13-7 tonight at Palmer Stadium in Leroy. Another final from Northwest Alabama. 2 top 10 teams in Class 1A, big rivals. Hackleburg tonight beating Lynn 33-13 as the Panthers beat the Bears up in Northwest Alabama. Last night, huge game. Number 1 in Class 2A, Pisgah. Number 1 in Class 3A, 5. They were both in 2A last year. 5 moved up to 3A this year. What a ball game. Pisgah, for the first time in 21 years, they beat their rival from 5. A big game at Sam Kinnemer Stadium. Pisgah beats 5 last night, 30-22. Tonight, Reeltown beating Trinity Presbyterian to Montgomery. Reeltown, the number 10 team in Class 2A, beating number 3 in 3A, Trinity Presbyterian in Montgomery tonight, 20-3. Bibb County and Gordo, no final yet. Late in the game, Bibb County, number 2 in 4A, was leading number 5 in 3A, Gordo, by a score of 29-14. That is not a final, but Bibb County was in control, 29-14. This is a final. Another top 10 matchup, a region game taking place tonight, again up in the Tennessee Valley. Number 8 West Morgan at home in Trinity, beating number 10 Brooks out of Killen 42-10 tonight. Last night, oh wow, Clay Chalkville, number 3 team in the state in 6A, defending 6A runner-up from last year, or should say defending 6A state champion from last year. They beat Ramsey out of Birmingham at Ramsey last night. Ramsey, the number 4 team in 5A, they're now 0-2. Clay Chalkville routing the Rams last night, 62-7. Tonight, another team that's very good in Metro Birmingham, the A.H. Parker Thundering Herd, number 2 team in 6A. They roll into Mountain Brook, and they beat the number 7 team in 6A, the Mountain Brook Spartans. We don't have a final. We do have a final. It's not up there. Parker beat Mountain Brook 30-16, no overtime, 30-16, Parker over Mountain Brook tonight. Hoover and Spain Park playing each other. This was not a final, but this game is going back and forth between these 2 rivals in the city of Hoover. Spain Park, at last report, was leading Hoover 33-30, not a final as of yet. Mary Montgomery and Gulf Shores playing tonight, and this is a final. The number 7 team, or I should say number 10 team in 7A, Mary Montgomery, beating the number 8 team in Class 6A, Gulf Shores, the defending 5A state champions, by a score of 21-17. There is the final. Spain Park, big rival, 2 schools in the city of Hoover. It was Spain Park beating Hoover 39-37. Spain Park over Hoover 39-37. Enterprise tonight beating Pike Road. Enterprise up to number 2 in Class 7A, beating number 9 in 6A, Pike Road 24-6 tonight down in South Alabama in Coffee County at Enterprise. We have an Anniston score, as I understand it, a final 8-6. Beauregard comes in, and they beat the Anniston Bulldogs tonight at Watt Mosby Memorial Stadium by a score of 8-6. Beauregard 8, Anniston 6. That is the final score tonight as Anniston, the number 5 team in Class 4A, they fall tonight as we have the final score of that game. Beauregard beating Anniston by a score of 8-6. We will come back with the head coach of the Weaver Bearcats, Ken Cofer. He's outside right now, waiting to get into the building, so we're going to have him coming up. Before we get there, though, we want to tell you about our Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. He'll be appearing in that Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. We want to tell you about the fine folks at Noble Bank and Trust, a community bank. What's that mean? Well, you're a person. You're a face. You're a name. When you walk into any one of their branches, they have branches all over East Alabama and even over in Birmingham as well at the Summit. You're more than an account number. All the decisions by Noble Bank and Trust are made locally, and they give back to their communities in a big way, more probably than any bank their size. Noble Bank and Trust, proud sponsors of high school football Alabama after the game, and also bringing you our post-game presser, which, by the way, head coach of the Weaver Bearcats, Ken Cofer, standing by in just a couple moments. We'll take a break and be back on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shivers, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number. You're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. Hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
All right, we're back on high school football. Alabama's after the game. We want to tell you all about the folks from Anniston Orthopedics. Anniston Orthopedics bringing you not only our Team of the Week score shirts, our Ted's Force and Beyond score shirts that they provide for us as well. But also, they bring you our cheerleading squad of the week, and our cheerleading squad of the week is the Raglan Purple Devil Cheerleaders this week. They'll be with us, joining us shortly from down the hill at Donahoe. We want to thank the folks at Anniston Orthopedics. They have the Saturday morning sports clinic going on again this year, 8 a.m. at the Tyler Center, so you can see an orthopedic doctor, get x-rays if needed. Most importantly, they'll get you back on the field as soon as possible. Don't suffer all weekend long. You got an injury, a volleyball, football injury, whatever it is, go to the Saturday morning sports clinic and see the fine folks there at Anniston Orthopedics. And it's not too late to check out our High School Football Alabama, the magazine, 92 pages online. You can read our cover story about Jeff Smith, head coach at Walter Welborn High School, and his family. We got the top 6 and the best of the rest players in District 6 here in the AHSAA. Concession stand story, team schedules, week-by-week schedules. We've got, I think, 39 team previews, my top 10 and Super 7 picks, all the new regional alignments. That's presented by the folks at the Calhoun County Commission. Go to our Facebook page at High School Football Alabama, and you'll be able to download that, and you'll have it anywhere. No, don't have to go out and find one. Don't have to go and worry about trying to lose it or whatever. You got it all right there online on our Facebook page. There's the download link. Look for that at High School Football Alabama on Facebook. As we mentioned, we're back on the Noble Bank and Trust post-game presser. That's where we bring you interviews with some of the top folks here in East Alabama involved in high school football, and certainly this guy's one of them. As Chad Barnett comes in and joins us for the first time, we welcome in head coach of the Weaver Bearcats, Coach Ken Cofer, out watching some football tonight because his team had an open date in that rugged Class 3A Region 6. Coach, you went over to state of Georgia.
I did.
State you know very well, and watch some football tonight.
You know, I was supposed to go to Welborn and go scout that game, but I wanted to make it here with you guys. But went and saw my old defense coordinator down at Dodge County, Randy Crutchfield. He's a new head coach at Haralson County, and got to see him coach a little bit, and just made me proud. You know, he's quite a bit younger than me, so it's kind of like father watching son right there. It made me proud a little bit.
I understand. I think they probably escaped the weather over there. Most of that started around Heflin and moved our way, so I think they escaped it, right?
Well, there was 2 delays.
2 delays.
Okay. So
we
we didn't get as much lightning over there as was over here, but you know, by all these scores that you're telling me, I missed some good games.
Well, Coach, it's you know, this first, it takes. I've been through all my years of doing this. It seems like it takes about week 4 before you kind of have things figured out a little bit. And we're only in week 2, so there's still a lot of what we would call surprises out there. Coach, just kind of your assessment of your team so far. Last week you had a tough road game over at Oak Grove. Right. You open date tonight, and then you're going to jump into that 3A Region 6 race next week. Just kind of says where your football team is right now.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of up in the air. It's not what I expected, and I think our kids would tell you the same thing. It was a downer last week. We have not practiced well, and I don't make a secret about that, but we had a good week this past week. It went back to a little bit of the swagger that we had last year toward the end of the year and the little confidence level. We just haven't had that. You know, we drive down against Oak Grove, and we score on the first possession. Didn't do a whole lot right offensively, and we still scored. And we get a fumble on the next possession, and then we just kind of fall apart after that. And we have to get what they call swagger back. And that's what we try to do, be a little bit more physical in practice this past week. And we got a physical game with Welborn coming up. So you got to be ready each and every week, man. It's a SEC of high school football that we're talking about right here. So,
Coach, you mentioned, you know, kind of just having an off week there that first week, not really able to put your pin on it or a finger on it. We saw last night Jacksonville State there, you know, going into this big game at Coastal, a lot of expectations. They just don't play well.
Right.
And sometimes that happens on week 1. Can you explain, like, what's the psychosis on that?
Man, I wish I had the answer. I think the good Lord knows that answer. I don't know right now, but I can tell you, you know, sometimes you think that you have a better team than the previous year, but it's not the same team. Even though you got a lot of starters coming back, and we did, it's not the same team. It's not the same type of attitude. You got to build off of that. And maybe that's Jacksonville State's issue too, but that's what we're trying to figure out.
Would you rather have the open week beyond a game like that, or would you rather have played this Friday night?
After that, what we had to go through last Friday, I'm glad we had the off week. It gave us a chance to settle down, so it kind of hit us right, and we know we're heading into this region right here. But you know, we got to get ourselves right. I'm not worried about Welborn, and they're a very good team and probably the most physical team that we'll face all year. We have to worry about us first, and that's what we're after. And I thought we had a great plan for practice, and the kids came through. But, you know, we've had our own issues with some missing players and stuff like that, and I don't know if a lot of people know about that, but we've had 2 of our 300-pound linemen kind of not disappear on us, but ruled ineligible by Alabama High School. I don't mind saying that on camera right here. You know, we're disappointed in that, but, you know, you're talking about 2 foster children right there, and it's not the same as these transfer kids.
Yeah.
And it bothers me a little bit that we don't have those guys.
Coach, you mentioned practice this week. Kind of take us through, not everything that happened in practice, obviously, but kind of the tone and tenor, so to speak, of practice this week. How was that with, as you said, a physical Welborn team coming?
Yeah, I think competition. You know, we start out with a little 5-minute specialty period, going out there kicking, catching punts, stuff like that, and then it went straight to board drill. We'll continue that. It's one-on-ones, and we get to pick most of the time. You know, we'll let somebody call each other out right there, but I don't care if it's one of our skill guys calling out one of our linemen. We need to be tougher. You know, and I think that's what a lot of America is lacking, but we're lacking right now. But we came back to that a little bit, you know, this past week. So it started out with board drill, and then when offense and defense came, and first defense is out there against scout team, you know, Coach Harper gave them a little incentive. If they score in these 6 to 8 plays right here, you're going to run. And no complaining. It was awesome. It was great competition. You had some of those physical hits and stuff like that. So we're going to compete every day in practice, and we're going to get better. We got to get Weaver High School back on track.
Coach, how do you see the differences in between? Because, you know, you were over there in Georgia for a while. You've been over here for a while. I know we saw a lot of Georgia, Alabama, and, you know, week 1 matchups. That's kind of really hard to gauge. What's your assessment of the differences in between Georgia high school football and Alabama high school football?
Well, and I said this during media days, but I don't want people to take it wrong. You know, in South Georgia, it's a lot more wide, spread open, speed everywhere. You come up here to northern Alabama up above I-20, and it's smash mouth football, and it's everywhere. And it's what some people in South Georgia would probably call old school, and I love it. I love it. Well, it's just, I think it's the type of kids that you have.
Okay.
I do. I think it's where you're raised. I think it's the type of attitude. I think it's the type of coaches and athletes that you have. You have to prepare with what you have on your team and what you have in your school. You know, we don't get to go recruit like Auburn, Alabama, and all that kind of stuff. You know, you have to take what's in that school, but you have to find what fits. And that's offensive and defensive schemes right there. And a lot of people do this. You know, we got Welborn next week. I think the wing tee, smash mouth stuff fits them perfectly. I think that's right up their alley. You know, Piedmont, what they do, the same kind of stuff. But, you know, we have to fit us, and I've had to make a little bit of changes offensively and stuff.
Coach, before I let you get out of here, we're going to go to our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. And you mentioned Class 3A Region 6 being kind of like the SEC of Class 3A football in the state. We're going to look at the graphic right now of that region in Class 3A Region 6 in our region rundown. And here it comes right here. You give us your assessment of this region so far. This is where we are. I think we got Glencoe at 2-0. That's not correct. They lost tonight, but Locust Fork 2-0. I think we've got some mistakes on there. JV Pennington 2-0. That's not correct. They lost tonight. But nonetheless, just kind of take us through that region right there as you see a 9-team region, which we've never had before, Coach, in this part of the state.
Right. Well, I mean, you talking about Glencoe, you just told me that score right there with Westbrook Christian. You know, that's kind of surprising right there, but Coach Martin does a great job. He's done a great job wherever he's been, and you know, Coach Smith is going to be around and do some good stuff. But you know, I thought just watching 7-on-7, and 7-on-7 is not what they say real football. I get that, but Ohatchee was the one that I thought was probably going to be that top team. But I knew nothing about Locust Fork and JB Pennington. And you know, you automatically think Piedmont as well, but you know, to me, those are all physical football teams right there. But Welborn, to me, is the pinnacle of physical. And you have to match that right there to succeed in this region. And they just won that ball game tonight, and I think that's a testament to them right there. And Sachs played Piedmont very well tonight, so that's up after losing to Horseshoe Bend the first week. So
Piedmont actually, they had that ball close through an interception, and then I was at that game. Sachs really ran it down their throat, went up 7-0. The last score we had reported was 27-13 Piedmont, but Sachs, as you said, playing very competitively with Piedmont tonight. Coach, that's going to be a great region, great Calhoun County matchup coming up on the hill at Wellborn next week with Weaver and Wellborn. Thank you for spending time coming back from over to Haralson County and being with us tonight. Best of luck to you and your team throughout the rest of the season next week against Wellborn.
Thank you.
Ken Cofer is the head coach of the Weaver High School Bearcats, off tonight getting ready for Walter Wellborn on the hill at Wellborn coming up next Friday night. We'll be back with more of After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission in just a moment.
Your home is a reflection of you.
We understand that. That's why we'll personally help guide you through the process of product selection, finance, and installation. We have an extensive selection of designer tile, stone, carpet, laminate, hardwood, cabinets, and outdoor products, all with industry-leading quality.
Let us help you choose the perfect touches for your entire home. We offer free in-home estimates and design consultations.
Visit us today at Ted's Floors and Beyond.
At Jacksonville State University, the journey starts with you. It begins with your ambition, your curiosity, your dreams. Here, you forge your own path. You have the power to make a difference, explore new horizons, and turn your passions into your future. At Jack State, we journey forward together. The journey starts with you.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Red Threads, powered by O-Brand, they're just all over the place, and they do our great job with all of our muscle team shirts, our Anniston Orthopedic Score shirts, our staff shirts, which our staff enjoyed getting today as well. And they have not only shirts, but they have the best selection of quality Jacksonville State apparel that you're going to find anywhere. They're right there on the square in Jacksonville with their storefront. Red Threads, powered by O-Brand, bringing you our Red Threads Stay Put preview box that we have every week. If you notice, we go to breaks. We just keep you right here and give you a behind-the-scenes look at everything that's going on here behind the scenes, which Chad Barnett can be interesting sometimes.
Very interesting. Yeah, sometimes more interesting than what y'all see.
We're back here on high school football, Alabama, after the game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission, coming to you from our Dad's Barbecue, top of the river media center here at Parker Memorial Baptist Church in Anniston. Chad Barnett, Michael Short, the coach, is in the house with us. He'll join us momentarily. Chad, my crew last night over at Coach Mike Robertson Stadium at Hokes Bluff, all of my life. Hokes Bluff has always opened the season with Southside.
Yes.
And they opened it again with Southside. Southside had played the week before against Guntersville and lost. Well, bitter rivalry. It's a 4A against a 6A. That didn't matter. Packed house over there last night. And a good football game. We've got all the highlights right now, Southside and Hokes Bluff.
Yeah, it's always one of those that you look forward to seeing at the beginning of the year, especially over the last few years when Southside's really found their stride over the last couple of years. A little coaching change and maybe a disappointing week one matchup against Guntersville. But tell you, Hokes Bluff is coming in ready to go. They haven't beat Southside to open up the year since pre-COVID. Back in 2019, that was also the last time they had a winning record. Let's go to the highlights, the Jacksonville State University highlights, and see how the Eagles and Panthers fared on a Thursday. Beautiful night in Northeast Alabama. Going to pick it up first drive. Quarterback Ethan Surratt looks to complete to C.J. Martin for a 37-yard completion. A few plays later, Surratt, this time he is going to drop back to pass survey, and he's going to call his own number. He's going to almost get to the goal line down at the 1-yard line. Next play, they're going to go back to the ground again. This time a handoff to Cole Garrett. He's going to punch it in for the touchdown. Southside draws first blood. 7-0 extra point is good. Hokes Bluff now on offense. Bryce Whitaker finding Drew McCarver for a 44-yard scamper. Beautiful play, almost tiptoes the sideline and scores, but he is going to be out of bounds. A few plays later now, Whitaker looking to the end zone this time. The righty is going to loft it up and find Anderson Morgan for the touchdown. Beautiful catch, all tied up at 7 apiece. Get a little,
yeah.
All right. Roll Tide. Coach Rob there looking on with the team. And we're going to have Whitaker rolling out the pass, dumping off to Colton Shields for a 23-yard pass and catch. Now 4th and 12 at the Panther 20. Whitaker looks in downfield, finds Logan Weineman for the first down. A few plays later, Whitaker with a sneak. This time he's going to punch it in from 1 yard out. Hokes Bluff is on top now, 14-7, trying to do it the first time since 2019. Panthers driving near the end of the half. Surratt drops back, going to be picked off by Blake Green with an INT. A little bit of, I don't want the ball. You want the ball? And I don't really want the ball. Back and forth they go. Southside picks this one off. Silas Osborne at the 44-yard line. Next play, Southside going to still try and find some points, but it's going to be a bad snap. Hokes Bluff would pick it up. So another turnover, and we are going to have the Eagles back with the ball again. Whitaker scrambling. Got to break free, gets inside the 5, and guess what? Another fumble. This is going to drop to the ground. Southside will recover. A crazy finish here to the first half. And Coach Rob is going to wonder, when is this thing going to settle down? Let's go to the first drive of the half for Hokes Bluff. Whitaker looking downfield. He's going to hit Morgan for a 30-yard pickup this time. Beautiful play by the Eagles, and they are setting up in deep Southside territory. Drive would stall, and they're going to go for the fake field goal. Not really sure what happened here, but as you can see, there's a mad scramble right now. 32 says, I got it. Ain't got the arm to get there, so that ball is going to be caught and short of the first down, giving Southside back the ball. Panthers driving. Emil Boyd now with a handoff. He's going to pick up a tough 10 yards. A few plays later, Surratt dishes it out to Boyd. Eventually, he's going to get it for an 18-yard pickup. Nice play inside the 10-yard line. Now 4th and 2. Boyd is going to punch his way in for a first down inside the 5. Next play, Javante Strong is going to get the call, get the TD. It's going to be 14-13 at this point. Southside would still trail, though. The extra point will be no good. Now the final minute of the game, Surratt looking to the air, trying to get this lead back again. 27-yard gain to Joshua Peoples. Next play, Surratt again keeping hope alive until it's picked off. Drew McCarver, he's going to take it 60 yards back for the pick 6. Massive play. Hokes Bluff, for the first time since 2019, wins it by a final score of 21-13. Massive win for the Eagles as they enter this season 1-0. We caught up with the head coach after the game, and here's what we got. Fellas, take it away.
All right, post game here at Coach Mike Robertson Stadium. Classic Southside Hokes Bluff game tonight. Hokes Bluff wins it 21-13. We're joined here, Coach Michael Short, also the head coach of the Eagles, Coach Mike Robertson. Got the starting quarterback for the Eagles right here. This is Bryce Whitaker, and the guy with the pick 6 at the end of the game for Hokes Bluff, Drew McCarver. Let's begin with the guys here. Just the gutty effort. You're a 4A school playing a big 6A school. They got all those big linemen and things like that. Just talk about the performance by your team tonight.
Yeah, like you said, it was a gutsy effort, man. We've been talking about it all week. They might be a little bit more talented than us. The way we're going to win this game, we get everything we got, every single play, no plays off. And I feel like we did that tonight, and I feel like that's why we won.
Drew, take us through the pick 6 at the end of the game. They're driving, chance to win the game, possibly even with a field goal. You have a 60-yard return of a pick 6 for a touchdown to seal it. Take us through that.
Well, at first I lined up on the wrong side, and I kind of used it as my advantage to go full speed and get the ball, and then I just took off. Thought the lineman was going to get me, but I cut back in. He grabbed me a little bit, but he didn't get me down.
All right, Coach, talk to Coach Rob here.
Well, first of all, congratulations, Coach. Typical Hokes Bluff football game right there.
It was a little sloppy at times, but give our guys credit. I mean, you know, they just fought every play. I told them in there, it was a short little after-game speech. I said, you wanted to win. You wanted to win. They did, and they won.
I know it there right before the half, you had an opportunity, you know, to score, and you didn't. I know y'all had to be a little bit down about that, but typical Hokes Bluff football team comes out and keeps the ball over 6 to 8 minutes to open the third quarter. Didn't score, but you set the tone for the second half.
We did. We had 2 important drives. That was one that kept the ball away from them, and they let our defensive guys rest some. And then we had another drive, the last one there, where we backed them up. We made 3 or 4 first downs. We got the holding penalty, which set us back. We didn't make the first, but we ran 4.5 minutes, I believe. I have to check the clock. I think we ran from 6-something down to 2.5. So when they got the ball, they had to go in panic stage, and Drew made a great play. But I thought our pass rush was good late too. But you're right. Them two drives without points are still important, as we like to say. Make first downs, clock runs. We're ahead. Our advantage.
Old school football, Coach. Yes, I love that. This old coach loves seeing that.
I know it. I know you did. You used to do it to us, Coach. I know how it feels. Yeah, you did.
Coach, one more question. You've seen as many Hokes Bluff Southside games as probably anybody. Just overall, not particularly this game tonight, but overall, talk about this rivalry. I really like the fact that regardless of what the classifications are, that you and Southside have continued to play this game through the years.
Yes, and we've got a little bit, where they're the big dog and we're the underdog, so sometimes the pressure is probably more on them. But we fought them pretty good. They've kicked us last couple of years, but we thought we could play with them tonight. Our kids believe that. That's what really counts. And but yeah, it's been a great rivalry. We enjoy it. Like I said, I think somewhere in my years we're about 500. So not overwhelming, but we're proud to say we fight with them.
One more observation I had, Coach. Get a helmet sticker on that punter of yours, because he has some great punch tonight.
We talk a lot. We practice the kicking game a lot.
Yes.
We do, and he did. Braden Howard, good snap, pretty good coverage.
Great snap.
But 2 big plays in the game, 2 good punts. You're right. Of course, you're thinking like a coach.
Coach Rob, congratulations. Bryce, congratulations. Drew, congratulations. Hokes Bluff wins tonight here at Mike Robertson Stadium, 21-13 here. Hokes Bluff over Southside. Well, Coach, that kind of reminded me of back to Six Flags when you used to hit me with a water cannon on Thunder River back in the day.
And it wasn't even planned. It just happened. I happened to see you out there.
Hey, how about this real quick? Coach, I know if I was going to coach a football game, I'd be a fish out of water. So we're bringing a coach in here to do media. Question, answer.
Yes, answer. Yes. Question. It's more like this,
Coach,
right
how
here.
did you feel about the game?
I don't know.
Love it. Awesome stuff.
Great game last night. There, great atmosphere, of course. It was a phenomenal game, a typical Hokes Bluff and Southside football game. I think a lot of folks, there was a lot of questions maybe about Hokes Bluff because they hadn't played. They played a Jamboree game, and Southside had played a game. But Hokes Bluff answered a lot of questions last night. Mainly, I told Coach last night, Hokes Bluff in Class 4A Region 6, they're not going to be an easy out for anybody in that region.
No, what the people may not have seen there is right before halftime, they were down there twice with chances to get points and didn't get them. That's why that big drive to open up the third quarter was so important for them. They didn't score, but just getting that drive and the confidence of being able to move the football was very important for their win and there at the end.
Yeah, and there was I think a lot of people may not have understood why Southside went for 2 instead of going for the extra point when it was 14-13. That was because there was a penalty, an unsportsmanlike penalty against Hokes Bluff after the touchdown where they moved the ball half the distance, and Coach Ben Stewart decided to go for 2. It wound up not being a factor in the game because of the pick 6 by McCarver there at the end.
It was a great call. As soon as the penalty went, I said they're going for 2.
Yeah.
Because I would have went for 2. In that situation, on the road, and it's a hostile crowd. It was a great crowd. I mean, it was standing room only. We've been so fortunate the past couple of weeks to be at ball games where it was just standing room only. It's been a great early season ball game.
I'd say the last 2 games you've been to have been pretty daggum good. What is that like, though, when you have, first game of the season, you need a play, and somebody steps up and makes a massive pick 6 there? Is that something that breeds from week 1 to week 2, and is that kind of one of those things that could be contagious?
Well, it gives you the confidence because the rat poison of that is he was lined up wrong. And I saw him line up wrong, and at the last second, coaches are screaming, and he takes off running across the field, and the quarterback don't see him coming because he's crossing the field, and it just ended up perfect. The kid made a great run to be able to score.
Yeah.
So it was a great play. So they'll be, Coach, I know Coach Rob, son, I know you scored, but we wouldn't line up right. But it ended up being positive at the end.
Yep.
Well, it was a great win for the Hokes Bluff Eagles last night. Anytime that they beat Southside, it's huge for them. But what a springboard as they get into Class 4A Region 6 play with that win over a 6A school at home, big rival game. And as you saw with the ceremony that all the celebration we kind of got caught up in there at the end, a huge win for all the folks there at Hokes Bluff. We'll be back as we continue with more of After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission here on High School Football Alabama. Don't go anywhere. We've got the Red Threads Stay Put preview box. You can kind of see what's happening behind the scenes as we roll on this Football Friday night.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
McClellan Sports and Outdoors, locally owned and operated since 2008. We offer embroidery, sublimation, and screen printing, and we stock a large selection of team equipment. We have a large showroom with tons of gear and shoes to get you and your family ready for your next activity. Adidas, Under Armour, Maui Gym, Evo Shield, Wilson, and more. We are located in the heart of Calhoun County, here to serve our region with all your athletic needs.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Back on high school football, Alabama's After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Johnson's Giant Food bringing you our concession stand of the week once again this year. You're going to see this week's concession stand of the week, as a matter of fact, coming up in this segment. You know, it's that time of year. It is tailgate time. So you can either buy the things that you want for your tailgate at Johnson's Giant Food, or you can go buy the Johnson's Hot Bar. If you don't want to cook, you want to leave it to the folks at Johnson's. They've got great deli food, all kind of great things. They are ready for you. You can go to their Johnson's Giant Food app where you can see the specials of the week. They have 5 locations in Calhoun and Etowah counties, in Attala, downtown Gadsden, East Gadsden, Coldwater, and in Jacksonville. Johnson's Giant Food bringing you our concession stand of the week. Time to go back to our USA Softball of Alabama scoreboard. We got a lot of new scores here as we go through the scoreboard. Here is a new final. We'll have the head coach of the Piedmont Bulldogs, Jonathan Miller, joining us live in studio a little bit later on tonight, and we'll have highlights of this game as it was Piedmont, number 6 team in the state in Class 3A, beating Sachs tonight out at Jack Stewart Field 34-13. Donahoe and Ragland, there's the final. Donahoe, huge win for Bill Smith and the Falcons. We'll have some highlights of this game as Donahoe beats Ragland tonight 38-19 up at Lynchfield at Donahoe. First win in the Bill Smith era there. There's another final we've been looking for. Number 5 in 6A Oxford beating number 5 in 5A Moody. Great football game at Lamar Field. We'll have some highlights of this game. Oxford over Moody 24-21. Welborn tonight on the road beats J.B. Pennington in Blunsville 34-24. Anniston, a heartbreaking loss tonight at home. Number 5 team in 4A, the Bulldogs, losing to Beauregard tonight 8-6 was the final. We will have complete highlights of this game. Coach Short and crew out at the Creek Bank at Ohatchee, where Locust Fork goes to 2-0, beating Ohatchee 58-42 in our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week. Complete highlights, post-game reaction from that game on the Creek Bank tonight. And region game in Class 3A Region 6. Jacksonville beats Alexandria 49-21 at Death Valley. We will have highlights of that game coming from Alexandria. Jacksonville Christian tonight goes to 2-1 at home. Tommy Miller Stadium, they beat Tabernacle 43-22. Spring Garden, big win tonight at Pleasant Valley. They beat the Raiders. Spring Garden, number 8 in Class 1A, beating the Raiders tonight by 3 touchdowns, 34-12. Sardis rolls into Cleveland County. This is now a final, another game that was greatly affected by lightning delays. Sardis beats Cleveland County 34-13 tonight at the pit in Heflin. Ranburn and Woodland, huge rival game, and it is 23-6 as that's reversed. Ranburn beating Woodland. I think we've got that one reversed. We'll get that corrected. Ranburn did beat Woodland tonight 23-6. Ranburn, the score is correct, but Ranburn did win over Woodland 23-6 tonight at Sewell Field over at Woodland. Randolph County, this is a new score, beating Central of Coosa in Hanover tonight 48-8. This is a new score. Hanley tonight winning at Dadeville 48-21, bouncing back after that loss last week to Central of Clay County. Horseshoe Bend and Wadley, Coach Short's here with me, 15-15 at one point. And then Wadley scores 47 straight to beat Horseshoe Bend 62-15 tonight down at Lynch Stadium at Wadley. Central of Clay County, this is now a final. I think we've got that one. We got that one reversed too, don't we? Yeah. Central of Clay County beat Ben Russell tonight 35-28. Well, again, we'll get that one corrected. There it is. That number 3 team in 5A. Didn't want to shock everybody in Clay County tonight. Central of Clay County beating Ben Russell tonight. Great game down at Volunteer Stadium, 35-28. Here's another new score. Sylacauga tonight, 2-0 are the Aggies. They beat Montevallo at Legion Stadium, 15-7. BB Comer, after the run that they've had the last few years, now 0-2. They lose to a good Vincent team tonight, 21-18, the final score in that game. Fayetteville beats Billingsley tonight, 44-18. Fayetteville 44, Billingsley 18. the final score in that game tonight over in Billingsley. Childersburg and Talladega, this is a new final. Childersburg tonight at home, John Cox Stadium in Childersburg. They beat the Talladega Tigers 14-12 tonight. Munford and Lincoln, huge art rival. This is like the East Alabama Iron Bowl here. Munford tonight beats the Lincoln Golden Bears 30-3, the 80th meeting between Munford and Lincoln tonight down at Munford Stadium. How about this one? Coosa Christian making a strong case for our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. 2A, really, to be honest with you, 1A, Coosa Christian beating Pell City 6A tonight at Pell City 17-7. An impressive performance by Mark O'Brien and the Coosa Christian Conquerors. Fairview beats Springville at Tiger Stadium in Springville 42-17. Montgomery Catholic handles St. Clair County tonight 51-14. Sandrock continues to master West End. They've now won 21 of the 26 all-time meetings. Sandrock knocks out West End again tonight at Rusty Jakeaway Stadium at the Rock 14-8. Cherokee County, nice bounce back win over Arab tonight as they beat the Arabia Knights 42-21 at Arab. Last night, Galesville blows out Asbury 58-7 tonight. Hearing a lot about Collinsville. And a lot of people tell us Collinsville is a team to watch not only this year but for the future. Young team. Collinsville beat Cedar Bluff 42-0 tonight at Cedar Bluff. As we saw earlier, Hokes Bluff over Southside 21-13. Glencoe and Westbrook Christian, highlights of this game coming. An emotional game. We're going to tell you all about that tonight with the highlights. Westbrook Christian beats Glencoe. That's a region game, 3A Region 6. Tonight, highlights coming from Wilson Darnell Field, 35-10. The Warriors win it. Gadsden City loses tonight to number 7 in 7A Hewitt Trustville at Trustville, 42-14. Big statewide games tonight. Number 8 in 3A Thomasville beating Sweetwater by a score of 48-6. The final.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch. The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you. But when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number. You're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
As a social worker, my cousin devotes her career to helping others. But when she was diagnosed with cancer, she was the one who needed help. She needed a hospital with an accredited cancer program and the latest in technology and care options. Plus, a compassionate team of doctors, nurses, and counselors with treatments that fit her schedule.
So where did she find all that? Right here at RMC.
Wow, these guys are everywhere. I'm telling you.
Hey, you remember when we talked about doing some upgrades to the bathrooms and the floors?
I do.
Well, I think it's about time we check in to do it.
I know exactly who to call. They're everywhere.
From your kitchen, bathroom, living room, fireplace, or anything in between, even the golf course, Ted's is everywhere. Call today for your free in-home estimate.
It's a football Friday night back on high school football. Alabama's after the game. Presented by the Calhoun County Commission, Jon Holder, Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett. Our entire hard-working team is with us tonight. I have no idea how long we'll be here tonight. Let's be honest with you. We started 30 minutes late because of all of the lightning delays around the area. Delayed games by about an hour in the Anniston-Oxford kind of metro area here. So we'll see how it goes. Right now, though, it's time for our Johnson's Giant Food Concession Stand of the Week. And this week, we're going to take you out to White Plains. And we're going to check out the concession stand on the home side over there as we check out the video from White Plains, our Johnson's Giant Food Concession Stand of the Week. All right, our Johnson's Giant Food Concession Stand of the Week. This week, we are at Robertson Field at White Plains, the White Plains High School Touchdown Club. We have the president, Van Roberts, with us. We're going to try out some barbecue nachos. Tell us about these nachos here.
It's some barbecue meat from local volunteer fire department. Cooked it, and they do a little cheese and jalapenos on there if they want them, and everybody wears them out. So
you got some good workers in here that have been working very hard. It's a hot night. Tell us about your workers.
Well, we got the legend Rachel Ford over here, and we got all these other ones in here helping and keeping it all going. So.
Final question. This money, obviously, when people come out here and buy some barbecue nachos and other items you have, all goes to a good cause here at White Plains, right?
Yeah, it does. Everything goes back to the kids and support the program. So.
All right, Van, thank you very much. A $100 gift certificate from Johnson's Giant Food coming to White Plains High School Touchdown Club. And our guys here are about to show you and eat the nachos. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, we've learned all about the nachos here at White Plains. Now it's time for the test. Again this year we have Don Wilson and the coach Michael Short. We're about to dig in, guys, to the barbecue nachos here at White Plains. Here we go.
Ready, Coach?
I'm ready. Woo. Are you? Wait a minute. We're going to go at the same time?
Same time.
Same time. Sure. All right, go ahead. Dig in.
I'll do some play-by-play commentary while they're eating here. They got their forks out. You do need a fork. This is really meaty, really cheesy as well. A lot of peppers in there. Coach is trying to steal it all. All right, between bites here, Coach and Don, tell us what your early impressions are of these barbecue nachos at White Plains. Caught Don with his mouth full.
Very good.
I want to know where that barbecue meat comes from. That's good. That's real good.
All right, barbecue nachos at White Plains with the Touchdown Club. Check them out on Friday nights here at Robertson Field. I was wondering where the barbecue comes from. They make their own barbecue. I think they can, maybe in conjunction with one of maybe the Quad Cities Volunteer Fire Department helps them out with that. Coach, tell us about the more in depth here as they pile the barbecue onto those chips there.
Well, they just kept piling it onto those chips there. Yes, the Quad Cities Fire Department does that, and they cook them. I think they use 3 of them, and he says they do it for every ball game, and they do one of their #1 sellers, and it was great. It was good. That barbecue with their own homemade barbecue sauce they put on it made a big difference.
There's the legendary Rachel Ford, softball field named in her honor out there at White Plains, working hard. In the concession stand, they got the cheese machine out there. Good stuff. By the way, as we said, they will get a $100 gift certificate from Johnson's Giant Food, any of the 5 locations here in East Alabama, to help them out with their concession needs. And we will be getting that to them, and we'll be right back here next Friday night with another Johnson's Giant Food concession stand of the week. Now, today, earlier, I was at Piedmont High School for their pep rally this afternoon as we were presenting our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week, complete with our Anniston Orthopedic Score shirts, our Ted's T-shirts. You see the Piedmont Bulldogs filing their way into the gym there, right next to the Field of Champions. Also had our Awards to Remember Tough Guy trophy as well. The Piedmont cheerleaders doing a great job leading that pep rally. And, of course, there's the Blue Knight Marching Band getting things very loud in the gym today. Out there with Jason Gregerson from Ted's Floors and Beyond. And I'm telling you, Coach, they love that T-shirt right there, our score shirts from Anniston Orthopedics with that Piedmont 34, Cherokee County 27. Look at the reaction from the team there, Coach.
You reckon some of those shirts are going to make it north up on Highway 9?
I said that in the pep rally today. It might be worn as we have the Bulldogs there. I think those shirts might be worn just a little bit up in Center, Alabama. Appreciate the hospitality up there today in Piedmont at their pep rally. And we have our next announcement, our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week. I don't know what time that's going to be, but usually it's toward the end of the show. We're out of kilter tonight with all of the late start and all the lightning and so forth, but we are working on our Team of the Week selection even as we speak. Let's talk about Jacksonville State University. Jack State coming on board to be a great sponsor with us. And let me tell you, exciting things happening at Jacksonville State. They have a new state-of-the-art, a ton of state-of-the-art facilities, modernized buildings, upgraded amenities. Jack State is creating a dynamic environment that enhances both learning and living. There's never been a better time to be a Gamecock. You can see the growth for yourself by scheduling a visit to the friendliest campus in the South. Go to jsu.edu/visit to find out more information on that. And it's time for our first Randy Wood, District 36 Representative Extra Point of the night. Hey, we also presented, you'll see this a little bit later on, Piedmont's Raleigh Pinto, tied for second in AHSAA history with 20 receptions in Piedmont's 34-27 win over Cherokee County last Friday night. Pinto's 20 catches were too shy of the single-game state record of 22 set by Dora's Stevie Woods back in 2010. He is now tied with 3 other players for second all-time. Pinto had 250 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. When we come back, as promised, I hear them down the hallway. The Ragland cheerleaders are on their way next on After the Game.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Sites and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At Jacksonville State University, the journey starts with you. It begins with your ambition, your curiosity, your dreams. Here, you forge your own path. You have the power to make a difference, explore new horizons, and turn your passions into your future. At Jack State, we journey forward together. The journey starts with you.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand. The perfect catch.
The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Ragland High School cheerleaders, they are Anniston Orthopedics Cheer Squad of the Week this week, and we'll hear more from them coming up in just a moment here on After the Game. Back on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. Jon Holder, Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett with you on a football Friday night. Folks, we're just getting started. We got a lot of things coming up. Next, we talked about Raleigh Pinto in our last extra point there. While we were at the pep rally at Piedmont today, we actually had 2 awards to give. Not only our Team of the Week award from the folks at Ted's Forwards and Beyond, but we also had our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week. And after that, you're going to see coming up Raleigh Pinto himself, as he had our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week award. He got a plaque. We'll have another special award coming his way. This was a guy who had, as we said, 20 catches. That is tied for second all-time in AHSA history. There he comes, number 22, coming out of the stands. Sure, he had another big night tonight out at Sachs, coming to get his award. And 250 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. Raleigh Pinto, our Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week from the Piedmont Bulldogs. Back on After the Game, time for more highlights coming as we're joined now by Chad Barnett and the coach Michael Short. An exciting game tonight, one of the better games of the night at Lamar Field in Oxford. Another one of those games that was affected greatly by the lightning delays down there. Yeah. It just ended literally. I mean, we're at 11:41 right now. This thing didn't end that long ago, but we've got some highlights from down at Lamar Field. We had to send our man Charlie Hinkle down there twice to get these highlights tonight.
I tell you, my son was coming back in town this weekend. He was like, "Where should I go?" I said, "You should go to the Oxford game." You got 2 top 5 teams going at it. Both teams going out of state to play last week. Oxford coming up with a win. Moody trying to come back off a tough loss to Gainesville. Let's go to the highlights at Lamar Field in Oxford. And the highlights brought to you by Jacksonville State University, as Yellow Jackets try to move to 2-0 on this young season. Of course, we all know they are led by one of the best quarterbacks in the area, Mason Mims. Can he lead them to victory tonight over the Blue Devils, who just came just a shot down I-20? And we will see them now as they take on a beautiful night here at Lamar Field. But like we said, all this pent-up energy, everybody on the both sides, everybody on the fence, and then they delay it for an hour and a half, and then we got to come back. So let's go to the highlights. When they did get to play, Caleb Goff would take this for a first down for Moody, and then they go to Charles Johnson, who'd find Josiah Dozier for the touchdown. Beautiful catch, and Moody would score 7-0. They take the lead, but they wouldn't score again until late in the fourth quarter because Oxford would look good. Damius Wilson going to get the handoff, goes for a first down. And then we talked about Mason Mims, the Louisville commit. That tunnel screen was working for them so well in their first half tonight. A lot of screens against this Moody defense. That's basically what they had working. That gets them a first down. Tough play here. This would be a first down inside the 10, but you know, I don't like to call the officials out, but this was a massively bad spot. He definitely over the 10-yard line. They called it short. It wouldn't matter, though, because Oxford would go on to not score on that drive, but they would score enough tonight to win it 24-21. Big win now. Oxford 2-0. 2 very impressive wins this year.
Yeah, very impressive wins. And as you mentioned, Chad, very astutely, top 5 team in 6A, top 5 team in 5A. We're going to see both of these teams when it's November and it's cold, like opposite of what it is outside right now. I think both of these teams are going to make deep playoff runs in their respective classifications.
Top 5 in 5A, but they got 6A talent.
Yeah,
their two rush-ins are power 4 conference type guys. That's why you're seeing so many screen passes from Oxford tonight, because they were really trying to slow those 2 down. And when people got great pass rushers, you got to throw the ball in the screen, tunnel screens, slip screens. Yeah, and a great job of Oxford doing that, because that's what you had to do to counteract what they were doing for Moody on the edge.
And I tell you, Moody, not just what they have, because they had SEC level talent on that defense already. They get a guy coming in from Southside last year to shore up the back end, and Brody McCutcheon, phenomenal guy. He's going to be playing big college football too. So they just got studs all up and down that field for Moody. And they're 0-2. How deceptive is that at this point?
Very, very deceptive, because you know, everybody's thinking they're 0-2, 0-2. But again, they got 6A talent, and they're playing a 7A schedule.
Yeah.
And you look at Oxford's schedule, have to give credit to Sam Adams there for that region's tough enough with Clay Chalkle and Mountain Brook and folks like that in there. And then he goes out and schedules Central of Carrollton, which was a really good team that they beat last week on the road. Come back in taking on Moody. They still got Helena, non-region. They still got Florence on the road, non-region. So Coach Adams not backing down from anybody. That region's tough enough. So once they get in the playoffs, it's going to be a battle-tested team.
People don't realize how tough it is on a coach and how tough it is on a team to start a ball game and then have to stop or never even get started because of rain delays. I've been in them before. It was a 2-hour rain delay, and we only had 4 minutes to go before halftime. So those are the type of things. It's very hard to get a team to get them in, stop, rest, do whatever, and then come back out and play. That's very tough. Both teams did a good job of coming out after that kind of delay and putting on a show.
And not long after they got back on the field, they had a TV or a heat timeout. So I was like, why do we need this right now? We've been in the locker room for an hour and a half. I think we can do without the heat timeout.
We had an hour and a half, 2-hour delay one time and came back out and played for 4 minutes to halftime.
Yeah, that's crazy.
4A Region 6, we continue looking now at our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown, and we're going to look at 4A Region 6 as we get into region play in this region next week. And one of the big games, Coach, we talked about it last night. We saw Scott Peavy from Etowah. He was there not only scouting Hokes Bluff, but he's got Southside in a non-region game coming up later on. But there's some big games coming up in this region next week. But I think the interesting one to me is that game between Hokes Bluff and Etowah.
Yes, as you look at the schedule, and we'll know more each week as these games start happening. People start having injuries. We'll find out more and more about each team. But yes, that is an interesting game on down the line as Etowah and Hokes Bluff, because it could be a game that may have implications on who goes to playoffs and who doesn't.
Class 4A Region 6, tough region there, as we said last week. 6 of the 8 teams in that region have won state championships in the past. That is a double tough region as far as Blue Bloods in Class 4A Region 6. Let's tell you about our fine friends at Team Sports. Team Sports has everything you need sporting goods wise, not only for the teams out there as well, but they also have a new store that they've opened up on McClellan in Anniston, a new sporting goods store that you can go and visit in person to see all their fantastic things that they have out there. Team Sports bringing you our highlights here on After the Game. They service over 100 schools, and they have been in business since 2008. Now, 15 years in business. Their store is located at 135 Exchange Avenue in Anniston. This is a locally owned, family-owned operation. Their focus is quality and customer service. Great folks at Team Sports bringing you our highlights on these football Friday nights. Marla Shaw is the cheerleader coach at Ragland High School. They had a home camp, so to speak, this summer. They have 7 fantastic cheerleaders. We're trying to get these cheerleaders back to Ragland because some of them are dual athletes. They've got some volleyball going on in Gunnersville tomorrow, leaving at 6:45 in the morning. It's 11:48 right now. We appreciate our Anniston Orthopedics Cheer Squad of the Week, the Ragland Purple Devils Cheer Squad. Here they are one more time on After the Game.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
Your home is a reflection of you.
We understand that. That's why we'll personally help guide you through the process of product selection, finance, and installation. We have an extensive selection of designer tile, stone, carpet, laminate, hardwood, cabinets, and outdoor products, all with industry-leading quality.
Let us help you choose the perfect touches for your entire home. We offer free in-home estimates and design consultations.
Visit us today at Ted's Floors and Beyond.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Awards to remember. We showed you the Tough Guy Trophy presented to our Team of the Week, also our plaque for our Player of the Week. That's all provided by Awards to Remember. Located on Alabama Highway 144 in Ohatchee. Go to awardstoremember.com. One of the top 10 awards dealers in the Southeast. You need trophies, you need plaques, you need any kind of awards. They handle our awards, and they are fantastic for the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame. I'm on the board of that, vice president of that board, and they have treated us very well with our fantastic awards that we give to the inductees every year. Whatever it is, corporate awards, school awards, youth league awards, they can handle it for you. Robert Smith and his entire crew out at Awards to Remember on Alabama Highway 144 in Ohatchee. Welcome back into After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission on this football Friday night. Jon Holder, Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett, all of our team working really hard behind the scenes. Jonathan Miller of the Piedmont Bulldogs is on the way. He'll be with us. We'll take a look at some Piedmont highlights and talk Piedmont Bulldog football as they won tonight. That's all coming up. We're going to talk about another brand of Bulldogs tonight as we go back to highlights, guys, talking about the Anniston Bulldogs. You know, we have 76-71 games. Coach saw one tonight, 58-42. They break in the game tonight, the new turf up at Lot Mosby Memorial Stadium, with a combined total of 14 points tonight between Anniston and Beauregard.
Yeah, everybody's excited to see what this field would look like as they open up the 2024 season. That is for the Anniston Bulldogs. Beauregard did play last week, took a tough loss, close one against Wetumpka. So Anniston trying to start a run for their 7th straight playoff berth. It would begin tonight. 2024 season at home against Beauregard on that brand new turf. Let's go out to Lot Mosby Stadium. Went old school there. Not Lot anymore. It's Lot Mosby Stadium. It's 6-0. Anniston is on top as we jump into the highlights. Jabari Williams, 6-yard run. Almost going to get the first down, but he's going to be down just shy. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Jamoris Young, he's going to try the quarterback sneak, and they're going to call him just a yard or so short. So a turnover on downs. Hornets now on offense. Kajaden Holloway, hard run. Next play, Jacob Jones is going to be picked off by Dakias Baker as he's going to switch the field for the Bulldogs. Shifty little run here, almost gets it back to midfield, so the Bulldogs are in business. Young going to pass and find Nicholas Warren. Beautiful catch across the middle, but as you mentioned, you know, when it's 8-6 the final, there's not a lot of scoring you're going to get out of these highlights. So this is what we saw. Final score tonight, Anniston falls late, because I believe it was 6-0. Beauregard scored late, 8-6, as Anniston moves to
I believe, if my information is not incorrect, Anniston actually turned like the opening kickoff for the touchdown and those kind of things, and then we had delays there. There was one of the games. I know a lot of people are thinking, what you keep talking about these delays tonight, because In the Gadsden area, there's that final score, first meeting in 19 years. Number 5 and 4A Anniston falling to 5A Beauregard tonight, 8-6. But I think a lot of folks were, in the Gadsden area, Cherokee County area, thinking, what's going on here? And, where I was tonight at Sachs and at Donahoe, we didn't have a drop of rain tonight, but there was plenty of lightning around. And so out of an abundance of caution, the officials made the right call, cleared the stadiums out, sent everyone out there to the cars there. But Anniston, I think, going to be okay. Beauregard only lost to Wetumpka 5 points last week, Coach, 19-14.
Very good.
And so, Anniston still, I think, is going to be a team to be reckoned with in 4A North.
Oh, yeah, and you can't help but look at the field and all the pride that the people from Anniston has got, and being able to get a new field. They've got the visitor side redone. They got some stuff done in the weight room, and that's something those kids have deserved for a long, long time. And I'm glad they've done that. And to go out there and watch them, that kind of game tonight is probably what that field. The football gods probably made that happen, because what has Anniston been known for years? They've had offensive people, but how many people have they got in the NFL that play defense? And that's what they've always been known, is for their defense. So that was kind of. It was kind of ironic tonight that it was a defensive slugfest, because that's what Anniston's always been known for. They'll bark at you.
Anniston, you will get back, as most teams will, begin region play next week in that very tough Class 4A Region 6, as they will be at home again next week, taking on the Asheville Bulldogs, a battle of Bulldogs coming up at Wyatt Mosby Memorial Stadium in Anniston. Time for our next Randy Wood, state representative out of District 36. Extra point. Ohatchee, let's look at all this. Ohatchee's wild 76-71 win over New Hope last Friday night set a number of state records, including total yards by both teams over 1,300. That's in one game, folks. Most points scored, 147 by both teams without overtime. Second most all-time, including overtime. Second most points scored by the losing team with 71. Imagine being New Hope. You score 71 points in football and lose the game. And the most total touchdowns, 21 touchdowns combined between Ohatchee and New Hope last Friday night. More of After the Game in just a moment.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand.
The perfect catch.
The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you. But when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number. You're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
McClellan Sports and Outdoors, locally owned and operated since 2008. We offer embroidery, sublimation, and screen printing, and we stock a large selection of team equipment. We have a large showroom with tons of gear and shoes to get you and your family ready for your next activity. Adidas, Under Armour, Maui Gym, Evo Shield, Wilson, and more. We are located in the heart of Calhoun County, here to serve our region with all your athletic needs.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
We've got some updates to the list here of the folks that are going to be coming to the Calhoun County Quarterback Club meetings, which begin on September 9th. Important information at the bottom of the screen. Not too late for you to get involved. Call David Woodard, 256-239-4480, whatever that is, 6, right there. 81, 4481. Call him.
1 in 9 chance.
And I failed it miserably. September the 9th, kicking it off with, look at this schedule, folks, right here in Anniston at the Anniston Country Club. That's where they meet every Monday night beginning September 9th. Former head football coach, Houston Nutt, Arkansas Razorbacks coming into town. Lauren Sisler from the SEC Network and ESPN will be there. Former Alabama tight end Brian Vogler, down assistant coach at JSU. Eli Gold, formerly the voice of the Crimson Tide, now working with Jacksonville State University. Dari Noka from the SEC Network will be in. Heath Harmon, the executive director of the Alabama High School Athletic Association, in town October 14th. Auburn assistant basketball coach Stephen Pearl will be in. Bruce Pearl's son, and he will be in. Basketball practice by that time on October 21st will be underway. Holly Rowe is coming to town, ESPN sports commentator as well. November the 3rd, we've got the Raffle Scholarship Dinner. I think we probably need to correct this. I think somewhere in there we've got a change, and we've got Bill Clark, former Jack State and UAB coach, that is coming into town as well. That may be September 30th. I think maybe in place of Eli Gold, we may have Bill Clark coming. We'll double check that on September 30th. And so that is the Quarterback Club of Calhoun County. And again, there's the number there, 239-4481, Chad, 4481. I got it that time. 100%. Call David Woodard and find out about that. Back on After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission on this Football Friday night. I'm not sure it's the biggest rivalry in Calhoun County anymore. It has been for the last few years, talking about Jacksonville and Alexandria. It might be Jacksonville and Anniston now. It might have surpassed that. I don't know. It's close.
It's a good one.
But they do have a paddle that they've got a little memento that they have to the winning team. So we'll say that it still is. So let's talk about the game tonight between Alexandria and Jacksonville out at Death Valley.
Yeah, a lot of people looking to see, what Alexandria's going to bring to the table this year. Of course, we know they got the big win in Week 10 last year to keep it from a winless season. They're trying to carry some of that momentum into the year, but they're facing off against a Jacksonville team who's won both of the last 2 times these two teams have played. Got a big game tonight, though, as we go to the highlights. Out in Death Valley tonight, going to arrive at 21-all, and Jacksonville would not keep it that way for long. Tylen Ellis right up the gut, and he's going to take it to the house for 6. 28-21. Jacksonville is going to take the lead at that point with 8:19 to go here in the third quarter. Marquavius McNeil, he's going to pick up the first down for the Golden Eagles on the hard run. We're going to go back to Ellis now. Another hard-fought first down, carrying a couple of orange jerseys with him. Golden Eagles still on offense. They're going to go back to the ground with the guy Ellis one more time. This time, not going to be caught in there for the end zone again. So back-to-back scores here for Jacksonville. They're going to take a 35-21 lead on the road, and they're going to start pulling away. Jacksonville cheerleaders liking what they see. Alexander's offense, Elijah Hunter, he's going to be stripped, and I mean stripped, by Bryce Allen. Phenomenal play by the DB. He's going to take it all the way back for the score, and Jacksonville is taking control of this cross. Got a gold chain. Go Coach Prime's on the sideline over here. So Jacksonville back on offense again. Jackson Bonner punched it in for the touchdown. Jacksonville walks away with this one after being tied at 21 when we got there. A lot of Golden Eagle offense. They moved to 2-0 on the season. Big win, 49-21.
Alexandria still has a commanding lead in the series, but it's been Jacksonville here in recent years. That Jacksonville offense, Coach Short, 43 last week against Etowah, 42 tonight against Alexandria. Coach Jamison Edwards, offensive coordinator, kind of getting it done up there. And I think you got some more stats for us.
Starting to ask some questions. You know, people were thinking, who's going to be their quarterback? Who's going to be their quarterback? Can we score? I think they're starting to answer those questions. What it proves to me is they've done a good job of developing players. You don't all of a sudden the guy leaves and you just fall apart. No, they got the next guy. Tylen Ellis, 13 rushes tonight for 155 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Jackson Bonner was 7 of 14 for 87 yards and 1 touchdown. He also rushed for 36 yards in a TD. Thanks,
awesome,
Coach Edwards.
Awesome job there. But that doesn't happen, Coach. You pointed this out. We talked about this week. All that offense doesn't happen without some muscle up front.
Yeah.
And our young oil company Grub Mart muscle team for this week is that Jacksonville offensive line, who last week against the Etowah Blue Devils had quite the night. As a matter of fact, these guys right here allowed Jacksonville against Etowah last week to roll up not only 43 points, but 486 yards rushing. They had 3 backs that went over 100 yards. Who are these guys? Braden Ball, Damari Sigler, Ben Pridgeon, Jackson Wade, Garrick Strain, and Drake Lee. And Coach, as you astutely pointed out with all your vast knowledge of coaching through the years, when an offensive line allows 3 different backs to run for 100 yards, Coach, what's that say to you?
They better win. I mean, when it tells me that a lot of times people will say that the offensive line did well, but 1 back rushed for 300 yards.
Yeah.
But when you got 3 backs that can rush for that many yards, it's not just one great player out there making big plays.
You'll see just a Chris Evans run around all over the place. You got multiple guys. That's pretty big.
Well, what they've already taught me there is they can run the ball to either side. When you got 3 guys, you can put 2 guys in the backfield and run anywhere you want.
Yeah.
And that's as that offensive line gets better and better and better, they're going to continue to get better. And just keep an eye on Jacksonville. I know everybody's saying, well, they got Moody and all them other people. Keep an eye on Jacksonville, because you know what they think? They know they can win now.
Yeah.
And all those guys, by the way, are going to get our those black, nice-looking Young Oil Grub Mart Muscle Team T-shirts. We've got those coming to Jacksonville next week for all of those guys you just saw the picture. Time for some more Team 1 Chevrolet Gadsden Region Rundown. Class 4A Region 3 is the region we're going to look at next here, guys. And this is the region kind of down south. The team that is surprising me, Coach, right off the bat here is Bullock County. Bullock County is sitting here, I think that should be 2-0 because we only played 2 weeks. But Bullock County has been never a really good football program, and they're making some noise here in non-region play. And then you've got Hanley, bounced back very nicely tonight down at Dadeville. And then Cleburne County hung in there strong for a while with the Sardis Lions. There's that 2-0 for Bullock County. Coach, Chad, your kind of assessment of this region as we begin region play in earnest next week.
Oh, yeah. Well, Bullock County has always had athletes. You know, I cannot remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of those teams right there, 5 of those have new coaches. Have new coaches. And you know, Booker T's moved. He went up to Tallahassee. So there's a lot of changes there. But the first of all is how to get to Bullock County. It's in Union Springs, Alabama. Am I right?
Union Springs. That's basically between Tuskegee and Troy.
Okay.
So it's not a destination that people go to. It's not a vacation spot down in Union
Booker
Springs.
T, Chad?
Help me, Coach.
Booker T?
Montgomery?
Tuskegee.
Okay.
Well, Montgomery, St. James.
St. James.
St. James on Montgomery Highway.
Not Booker T, the wrestler. No.
But look, there's what you will notice in that as we watch games each week, is they're very athletic. All those teams right there are very athletic.
Seems the further south you go,
the faster it gets.
The faster it gets in the state of Alabama in every classification. That's Class 4A Region 3. In our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden Region Rundown, the Calhoun County Commission presents every week after the game here on High School Football Alabama. Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, Lee Patterson. They support all of our schools in all the school systems here in the state of Alabama. You know, the things we have here in Calhoun County, like the Silver Lakes Golf Course, the Janey Furnace, Cider Ridge, the Chief Ladiga Trail, the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame that I mentioned earlier. all these great recreational sites, and we could go on and on, supported by the Calhoun County Commission, those commissioners that we just mentioned. You see them out and about in our community, and they're everywhere. Thank them for what they do for our community, and thank them for presenting After the Game. We'll be back in just a moment.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
As a social worker, my cousin devotes her career to helping others. But when she was diagnosed with cancer, she was the one who needed help. She needed a hospital with an accredited cancer program and the latest in technology and care options. Plus, a compassionate team of doctors, nurses, and counselors with treatments that fit her schedule. So where did she find all that? Right here at RMC.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Wow, these guys are everywhere. I'm telling you.
Hey, you remember when we talked about doing some upgrades to the bathrooms and the floors?
I do.
Well, I think it's about time we check in to do it.
I know exactly who to call. They're everywhere.
From your kitchen, bathroom, living room, fireplace, or anything in between, even the golf course, Ted's is everywhere. Call today for your free in-home estimate.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Alabama Teachers Credit Union bringing you our bottom line with all the scores every Friday night to keep you up on all the scores around East Alabama and the big games around the state as well. Alabama Teachers Credit Union is going to become Emblem Credit Union this fall. It's a new name that ensures every member feels valued and represented. For more information about the upcoming transition, go online to atcu.com. That's atcu.com. If you live, work, attend school in Calhoun, Cherokee, DeKalb, Etowah, or Marshall counties, you can be a member. Again, learn more at atcu.com. Not only do they bring you the bottom line, what we call a ticker here, they bring you the bottom line with all the scores, but also ATCU this year is bringing you our Band of the Week. And this week's Band of the Week is a band that put on a phenomenal show, and they're great in the stands as well. One of the best student sections, one of the best atmospheres you'll find in high school football in this state is at Barney Hood Stadium in Southside. And a big reason for that is because of the Pride of Southside. We're going to take a look at the Pride of Southside marching band from last night over at Hokes Bluff, performing at halftime in that game. They are a phenomenal band. They basically have 147 members this year. They began back in 1958. Their theme this year for their halftime show is Blast from the Past. They're getting ready for a major deal at the Mid-South Marching Band Festival. A lot of bands participating in that. Southside will be as well. That is coming up on Saturday, September 28th at the Mid-South at Gadsden City Titan Stadium. Matthew Weaver is the director, and that is our Alabama Teachers Credit Union Band of the Week, the pride of Southside. Coach Short joins me back here on the set. Coach, for me, it's just not football season quite yet unless I hear the pride of Southside playing Hail to the Victors. They played it a lot last night. Maybe not enough for the Southside fans because they play it after every touchdown, but they played it enough, and they do a great job.
They're very loud because when, anytime it got down to a third or fourth down situation, they were real loud. Yeah, but I have to say this real quick. Did you notice that grass that they were walking on? Coach Rob does a great job. That's as pretty a yard to play on as anybody around. I just had to throw that in there.
A lot of schools have turf now, but, a lot of the older school coaches like Coach Rob, they take a particular pride in meticulously preparing that surface for football season.
When you walked on it, my knees were not hurting after the ball game because that's how soft it was. And I just noticed how green it was and how well fertilized. He does a great job, but yeah, that band is loud. They are real good.
We're going to continue looking at some of our regions here. Our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown. We're going to go to Class 5A now. And Sylacauga, Coach, making a little noise. Beat Central Coosa last week, beat Montevallo tonight. Central Clay County had a tough time with Benjamin Russell. And so they win tonight, though, 35-28 in that game tonight down at Volunteer Stadium. Beauregard with that win over Anniston. Valley after losing to Glenwood. By the way, Glenwood, we'll take a look at Class 3A in a minute. I don't want to give too much away, but they hammered the #1 team in 1A, Elba, tonight. So look out for them. We'll talk about 3A a little bit later on. Coach, you had a little information here, I think, on the Elmore County game, right? The Elmore County where we had some interesting things that went on down there, and they're not going to wind up playing the game. Was that Elmore County?
Yes, the Tallahassee, Elmore County, and them. Yeah, that ball game was, from what I was told by a bunch of radio people that did the game, it got canceled, delayed, and now it's not going to be replayed.
And we
have some problems in the stands.
Some problems in the stands. Not because of weather tonight, but because of some other issues there. But that region, Coach, look out for Sylacauga. They might make a little bit of little noise there in 5A Region 4.
And it was a surprise, and I don't think anybody thought that they would do that. But, with the coaching job that they're doing there now, and now they're 2-0. Everybody on that list that we're seeing there is playing for second, third, and fourth. Because Central Clay, Rat Poison, Coach Horn, they're 2-0, and I knew this was going to be the game. Benjamin Russell with Smitty Grider at the coach has got a lot of great athletes. And they knew going into this game tonight that that's the kind of game they were going to have. And Central Clay needed that type of game tonight because they may not get that for a while as far as in their schedule. And because they got to go to Pell City, or they got Pell City at home, and then they got to go to Scottsboro.
And Scottsboro's got a very good football team. I think Scottsboro's a little bit better than everybody thought they were going to be. So that'll be another tough non-region game for Central of Clay County. Let's tell you about another one of our great sponsors on these Friday nights here on High School Football Alabama after the game. And that sponsor is RMC Regional Medical Center, providing great medical care all throughout East Alabama. They're in Roanoke. They're, of course, here in Anniston. And they provide just great, phenomenal health care for the folks here in East Alabama. RMC Health Systems bringing you High School Football Alabama's after the game. Coming up, as promised, it's a late night for everybody, especially this guy. Head coach of the Piedmont Bulldogs, Jonathan Miller, is in studio, and he's next on After the Game.
At Jacksonville State University, the journey starts with you. It begins with your ambition, your curiosity, your dreams. Here, you forge your own path. You have the power to make a difference, explore new horizons, and turn your passions into your future. At Jack State, we journey forward together. The journey starts with you.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
As a social worker, my cousin devotes her career to helping others. But when she was diagnosed with cancer, she was the one who needed help. She needed a hospital with an accredited cancer program and the latest in technology and care options. Plus, a compassionate team of doctors, nurses, and counselors with treatments that fit her schedule. So where did she find all that?
Right here at RMC.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
Great supporters of high school football here in East Alabama and really high school sports, and that is Grub Mart. Locations all over the place, Cherokee County, Etowah County, Calhoun, down in Lee County. If you go to the Auburn game tomorrow, you can check out the Grub Marts in the Auburn, Opelika area. They have the Super Saver card, the Marathon Rewards. They've got a website now. Their app is out, and they've got great fuel. They've got the bags of ice, everything you need for tailgates. Right there on campus, literally at Auburn, on campus almost literally at Jacksonville State. Grub Mart bringing you high school football Alabama's after the game and also bringing you our muscle team, as you saw earlier. Some guys that were muscling some guys around tonight with the Piedmont Bulldogs out at Jack Stewart Field at Sachs in Class 3A Region 6 action. Of course, that's a 9-team region, so they're getting a jump start in playing region play with 8 region games to play. And we've got the head coach of the Piedmont Bulldogs. They win tonight as they win over the Sachs Wildcats. And we got head coach Jonathan Miller here with us tonight. And Coach, you have had a long night, so I appreciate you coming and being with us tonight. Had the lightning delay out there. Saw you meeting with the officials and meeting with Coach Freeney from Sachs. Kind of take us through that conversation and what transpired there.
Well, it's every coach's nightmare, you know, when you see the lightning. And we had it a couple strikes that were, I think the one that put us inside was 7.2 miles away. And, you know, we didn't get started back till after 8 o'clock, and so that was interesting. You know, it's hard, especially when it's a visiting team, to be comfortable during delays like that. So definitely not what you want on the road.
I noticed in the dressing room there was some Christian music being played in there, and the guys were jumping around and using that time to kind of stay up, so to speak. How do you feel like your team handled the break tonight?
Well, I think we were okay. We did come out just a touch flat. You know, we had the ball inside the 10 and ended up throwing an interception, but a kid made a great play on the ball. But, you know, first half for us didn't go very well. And, you know, credit to Sachs and also, you know, probably a little bit of a hangover from last week. You know, and it's really what we needed. You know, we needed to be challenged, and, you know, that's exactly what happened in the first half.
That's the question I was going to ask, was after the big win against a big rivalry win like you had last week, I thought as a coach, I said what they need is a gut check here somewhere to find out just really where you're at because I know you've talked all week to your kids, look, we just had a great win, but we got to come back and play another game. But what's it like? Now, you've always been in that dressing room on the other side.
That's right.
So now it's hot and humid, and it's lightning, and you got to stay in there. Was the air conditioner real good and high and cold?
No, definitely not. You know, that's the sweat box down there
You're exactly
at
right.
Stewart Field.
I've been in that hot sweat box before.
You know, our kids kept inching out during the delay. Our kids were inching out of the dressing room. We had to push them back in, but it's just, you know, it's no fun to be in there. We were close to getting on the bus and turning on the AC, but we didn't. If we'd have went any longer, we probably would have, though.
It was the exact opposite of the last time that Piedmont and Sacs played at Jack. The last time they played, period, was at Jack Stewart Field, a game that was one of the greatest games in Calhoun County football history. State semifinals, as cold as I've ever been at a high school football game in this county, a game that Piedmont won 52-44 in double overtime. This is the first time the two teams had played, and the irony of that is you coming back as the head coach at Piedmont. It's kind of it's eerie sometimes how fate, whatever you call destiny, all those kind of things, how it kind of works out that the next time they play, you're on the opposite sideline.
Yeah, you know, back in 2021, I never would have dreamed that this would have happened, you know, but it did, and I'm thankful to be where I'm at. But you know, I had a lot of great memories at Sacs, coached a lot of great kids, and definitely, you know, a lot of memories that I'll never forget. And we had a lot of special teams, special players, and special community over there.
Coach, you know, after saw the game tonight, I didn't really get a chance to watch the highlights we'll get to see here. I remember last week you talked about how your young offensive linemen grew up. A lot of times young offensive linemen have trouble with consistency. How did it go tonight for your offensive line? Did they give you that consistent effort that you've been looking for?
Well, I think as far as effort goes, it was consistent in that regard, but you know, we didn't always block the right guy. Missed some kickouts and things like that cost us, and you know, and I think at times our physical play kind of comes and goes, and that's just something with young kids that has to develop, and you know, we hope it's sooner rather than later. You know, we're going to push them, and the thing about it is, it's one ninth grader and two sophomores. They're talented kids. You know, they're really talented kids, and they're going to be good football players. And you know, we hope that's this season.
And you don't really get a chance to get a break because they got to get ready again for next week. Y'all's region's that way every week. You got to be ready to play.
It's so good from top to bottom. It really is, and that's what's going to be a struggle for some teams. Is you got to get up every week. You know. Ohatchee coming into the Field of Champions next week. It's going to be a test. You know, they can score with the best of them.
Yes.
So, you know, and I think that's going to be the way it is a lot in our region. There's going to be There's a lot of good offenses. There's going to be a lot of track meets.
Yes.
You know, maybe whoever can play the best defense might win it. I don't know. You know, and stay away from upsets. So, you know, I think it's going to be a lot of interesting games played in our region, a lot of high-scoring games and fun games for fans to see.
I've noticed on the track meets, a lot of times it comes down to who's got the best kicking game to win those games.
Yeah, sometimes it does. It sure does.
Coach, you might need 21 catches from Raleigh Pinto in one of these games coming up. I'm assuming he didn't have 20 tonight. He is a special talent.
He is. There's no doubt, and you know, we're glad to have him back. And a credit to Raleigh is he really rehabbed his knee injury. Used the time to get bigger and stronger. He's put on about 15 pounds. So, you know, I guess the break was not good for him because he had to sit out, you know, majority of football season and part of basketball season. But he did use his time wisely to better himself, and he's a much better player than he was last year before he went down. And you know, he's going to have a great season for us.
I don't know in 3A football in this state. I don't know if anybody's got two better weapons like you've got, especially on the outside when Pinto hits the edge, and then you got Ish Bethel, who had, while I was there, had a great 52-yard touchdown pass. You got, you know, talk about your quarterback Wilson, who has just come a long way. Hit him in stride tonight with that 52-yard touchdown pass. You've got a lot of weapons, especially in the passing game, that a lot of 3A teams just don't have those kind of weapons like you have.
It's definitely nice to have. You know, obviously Raleigh can do a little bit of everything. Ish is a deep threat, and you know, is good in the intermediate routes. And you know, Raleigh can do a little bit of everything. So you know, we definitely got to keep those guys involved as the season goes by. You know, those are good two awesome weapons to have, two good kids, and they're going to have big seasons for us.
All right, Coach, before we let you get out of here, this is probably way past his bedtime, and he came with you, I guess, to help keep you awake tonight, driving down here. Tell us who this guy is with you tonight to keep you in your company.
This is my 6th grader, Knox. You know, he's pretty much with me wherever I go, so he's a manager for us, and we came, you know, we went from Sachs straight to Piedmont, straight to Parker Memorial, so he's along for the ride.
Awesome.
Great memories.
There's no doubt about it.
Glad to have you with. Knox had no idea this was about to happen. I just pulled him in over here because I thought, my goodness, if he's done this such a great job a long night with his dad, he ought to be on after the game. And all the folks here in East Alabama see him. Coach, just tell us briefly about Ohatchee next week. It's going to be one of the better games, I think, in 3A in the state next week. Talk about the Indians and what you know about them so far.
Well, obviously, they got a lot of weapons. Senior quarterback who's started for 3 years now. So a ton of weapons all over the field. You know, senior heavy, got our work cut out for us. You know, hope we can play some defense next week and keep it from being a track meet. So we'll see. But, you know, they got great skill kids and senior laden team. So they're going to be a tough out for everybody in our region.
Coach, before you get out, we're talking about Raleigh Pinto and all the great players you have and your young offensive linemen. The first thing I noticed last week, when going back, I'm going to reverse here for a second, watching Cherokee County game, is the phenomenal job that your coaching staff, that you and your coaching staff did, of getting the ball to Raleigh Pinto in all the different ways and letting your quarterback get that confidence. I enjoyed as a coach watching the way that y'all handled your quarterback and how you made it easy on him at first, and then once he got confident, boy, it got to rolling.
Yeah, it's always good to get some easy completions, especially when you get it to a kid like Riley who can do something with it after the catch. So that got, you know, it gets any quarterback's confidence sky high. So, you know, we kind of hit the short passing game early and then hit them with some deep shots later on as the game went by. And, you know, Cole's playing great right now. So
credit to y'all as a coaching staff.
Thank you. Thank you.
Coach, it's been a long, long day and night. Thank you so much for coming, bringing Knox with you to be with us here on After the Game. Coming all the way down here to be with us at the Dad's Barbecue Top of the River Media Center at Parker Memorial Baptist Church. Midtown Anniston on Quintard Avenue. Speaking of Dad's Barbecue and Top of the River, college football starts, well, today, because it's Saturday already, and no better place to go than Top of the River and Dad's Barbecue to get all your pregame things that they have. Dad's has hickory smoked beef, barbecue, ribs, turkey, ham, chicken, great sweet tea to go with it. Everything you need for your tailgate party to watch college football tomorrow or any of these football Saturdays or any of these football Friday nights. They've got it both at Top of the River and Dad's Barbecue, bringing you our media center here at Parker Memorial. Back with more of After the Game in just a moment.
Your home is a reflection of you.
We understand that. That's why we'll personally help guide you through the process of product selection, finance, and installation. We have an extensive selection of designer tile, stone, carpet, laminate, hardwood, cabinets, and outdoor products, all with industry-leading quality.
Let us help you choose the perfect touches for your entire home. We offer free in-home estimates and design consultations.
Visit us today at Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand. The perfect catch.
The perfect stop. These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
Our first Farmers and Merchants Bank Player of the Week, we talked about Raleigh Pinto, the Piedmont Bulldogs. He won our first award. Got the nice plaque up there at the pep rally at Piedmont. Farmers and Merchants Bank, they have given out over $28,000 in scholarships just in the past 6 years, all right here to local high school students in East Alabama. They have been in business and serving Calhoun County for 109 years. 5 locations now: Piedmont, Jacksonville, Anniston, Oxford, and now in Center. They have the debit cards for all the local schools in Calhoun and Cherokee counties. $10 of every school Spirit card purchase goes back to the schools, and they have given over $5,000 back to the schools from Spirit card sales. Farmers and Merchants Bank, great supporters of high school football Alabama after the game. And also, we're a big part of that, partnering with F&M for our Spirit Scholarship. We're going to be unveiling some of those nominees here. We're bringing that back this year in the weeks to come right here on After the Game. Back with Chad Barnett and the coach Michael Short. Got more game highlights coming your way. And really emotional night tonight at Wilson Darnell Field over at Glencoe. Big region game, Class 3A Region 6, between Glencoe and Westbrook Christian, Etowah County rivals. A lot going on over there tonight that we're going to go in depth and talk about, but first we got the highlights.
Yeah, it's often that, sports and life interchange and they intermix because we live life and we play sports. Touching tribute tonight for the late James Blanchard, former coach of Piedmont. Passed away this summer due to cancer, I believe, and so it was a good touching tribute tonight. We'll talk about a little bit about that here in just a minute. A lot of visors on hand tonight to honor the late coach. So let's go to the highlights, see how the game went. As you talked about, John, Glencoe and Westbrook Christian, the season opener for Westbrook Christian, because Steve Smith's squad on the field for the first time this season. And Brody Blevins going to pick up the first down. Nice run over the left side, tiptoeing down the sideline. That's going to set up a first down for the Warriors and set up this. Blevins connecting to Bo Kilgo for the touchdown. There you see the visor. Do your job, as Coach Blanchard would say. Now we are on the Glencoe offensive side. Jake Boggs, tough first down run. Next play, Aiden Johnson going to connect with Hayden Hudson on the jump ball. Nice touchdown for the Glencoe Yellow Jackets. We are tied up at 7 apiece. Student section liking what they see. Can they continue, though? Westbrook will be back on offense. Brody Wood, ball security coach. You like the 2 hands on the football. Going down, gets the first down. Nice run by Brody. Blevins would get another first down as he would keep the Warriors moving. And then he would connect again for a touchdown, this time to Kilgo again. In there for the score. It's going to be 14-7 now. Another visor. Steve Smith wearing it this time. Glencoe, tough luck here. Bad snap goes over the head, and that punt is going to be blocked. That's going to set up the Warriors with nice field position. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to go to the ground, get in there for another score, and Glencoe at this point would be down 21-7. But Jackets would come back, have a little scoring drive here at the end of the first half. This is just with seconds remaining. Gets them down inside field goal range, and they're going to try a last-second field goal in the first half, and it's going to be good. And that is going to be Montgomery punching it through. 21-10 at the half. Glencoe goes on to lose to Westbrook Christian. A tough loss by Glencoe. Great start to Westbrook Christian, but I think the whole thing that, it was great the game was played, but a touching tribute both sides tonight. The connections between these two teams and Coach Blanchard was pretty special tonight, Coach.
Yeah, Coach Blanchard was a good friend of mine. Constantly texted me and called me and checked on me all the time. And, he fought cancer for a long time there. And, out there trying to stay out there and trying to be a part of it. But tonight, them playing, Steve Smith with the visor on, I don't even know if he's ever had a hat on his head. And,
I've never, honestly, I think I've never thought about that.
Well, I hadn't,
Not even the days when he had the mullet.
No, well, that would have looked bad with his mullet, but, he wore one tonight, and that just tells you how much James Blanchard meant to him, and not just Westbrook. What he did for Westbrook community in 1 year, it was unbelievable, because when they had his funeral, they had it at Westbrook, at the school, and, all the years at Piedmont.
Yeah.
Center. Just think of all the places he's been and all the people that he has affected in his life. But they had their visors on tonight, and it said, "Do your job," because he could get after you, real quick and say, "Do your job." And then you had JB, that's for James Blanchard, on the side there. So everybody had a visor, not for both sides, even Coach Martin. So everybody had a visor tonight, and it was in honor of him. I knew it had to be a special game for Bailey. That's his son, who was the defensive coordinator at Glencoe. So it had to be really, really, really tough on him tonight, and really emotional, just an emotional time for everybody.
And then Bailey, as defensive coordinator, matching wits with his old coach, Steve Smith, who everybody knows is a great offensive play caller.
Yes.
Great offensive play caller. And then for the first time, I guess, going head-to-head with him, defensive coordinator, going against your old coach, who's one of the great offensive minds in the state. So you had that dynamic going on there. And, of course, his dad, Coach Smith, great friends. I think just a lot of class tonight.
Yeah.
Really, I know the Westbrook folks really appreciate Glencoe and the things Glencoe did tonight in hosting that game. Just really what high school football, I think, is all about.
And Bailey, Coach Bailey Blanchard, if you're listening now, your daddy's very proud of you.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. Let's take a look now at our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden. We're continuing to look at our region rundown. We're going to go to Class 6A. We're going to begin in Class 6A, Region 6. Mountain Brook actually lost tonight. We got that wrong, but Mountain Brook actually lost to Parker tonight. So Parker really flexing their muscle. This is an awesome team.
Yeah.
They beat Mountain Brook by 2 touchdowns. When you go into Mountain Brook and you beat a Chris Yeager team by 2 touchdowns, that's phenomenal. Clay Chalkville last night, they beat Ramsey 62-7. Then you see Oxford tonight being the number 5 team in Class 5A, and just down the line there. But the top of that region right there, guys, Clay Chalkville, Mountain Brook, Oxford, that's as good as it gets in 6A in this state.
Yeah.
Exactly right. And this is, I don't even know if we'll get that other region, but the region Parker's in, this is a little tidbit game. Carrollton High School, not Central Carrollton, but Carrollton High School out of Georgia is traveling over to Birmingham in September to play the Parker Thundering Herd. That will be a great ball game.
That should be. I tell you, it's, you talk about the top 3, that was really impressive, but, how about Pell City tonight? How about Coosa? The fact they were able to go and knock off a 6A squad like that, just an incredible shock score. I know they're playing up, and you don't expect a 1A school or /2A, whatever you want to call it, but what an effort by Coosa tonight to get that win.
Let's move on to Class 6A Region 8 now, and Gadsden City lost tonight, but let me tell you, they were on the road playing one of the perennial powers in 7A football at Hewitt-Trustville tonight. So I wouldn't put too much into that loss tonight by Gadsden City. Fort Payne tonight actually lost again. They lost to Scottsboro. They had a big lead tonight. They had a 19-3 lead, I believe it was, over Gunnersville. Gunnersville had moved up to number 1 in the state in 5A in the poll this week, and Gunnersville came all the way back and beat Fort Payne. But I still think that Fort Payne team is going to be reckoned with in that region. But I really believe, still based on what I've seen, guys, again this year, Gadsden City looks to be the lead dog, so to speak, in 6A Region 8.
They needed that game tonight. Gadsden City did. After having that big win, last week. Now they play a little bit bigger team, more competition. Because the more competition they play, they better be playing them because that's what they're going to see. You know, when the playoffs start, I'm not rat poison, not looking ahead, but they got to be ready for that because they're going to be there.
All right, that's 6A Region 8. And now it's time for our next extra point of the night. Our Randy Wood, state representative out of District 36, extra point coming their way right now. Next Friday's Hokes Bluff at Etowah game will mark the first contest between the two Etowah County schools in 39 years. I was still in high school. The Eagles and Blue Devils last meeting was a 10-6 Hokes Bluff win in 1985 at Jim Glover Field. They'll meet there again. There have only been, amazingly, in that small county, there have only been 12 meetings with Hokes Bluff holding a 7-5 series lead. Hokes Bluff has won 4 in a row. Look at this, folks. The last Etowah win over Hokes Bluff was in 1945. Next Friday night, 4A Region 6 at Jim Glover Field. Back in just a moment.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So show off your colors and support your local school with the F&M Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
I can't imagine life without Glenn, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Glenn's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team 1 Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team 1 Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden right there on East Meagan Boulevard in East Gadsden, bringing you our region rundown. We've got some more coming up even in this segment right now. You know, everyone loves tailgate season. This year, you can tailgate in style with the new Team 1 Chevy. They have, to make it even better, 1.9% financing on all of their top tailgate vehicles. What are we talking about? We're talking about the hot new Blazer, the Trailblazer, the Equinox, yes, even new Silverados. 1.9% financing can save you thousands. Also, while you're there, register to win their ultimate Iron Bow tailgating package. Save big and be a winner at Team 1 Chevrolet in Gadsden, home of the best people and the best service, period. Back on after the game on high school football, Alabama on this football Saturday morning, as we'll say. Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett here with us. We're going to talk about some 1A football now.
Game day is going to be on any minute now, I think.
We're going to
They're not as good as we
We're
are.
going to take you straight from after the game to game day
Right
is what we're going to do. My crew with all the, again, another game that was greatly affected by the lightning delays was up at Linsfield at Donahoe tonight. Ragland and Donahoe, really good game tonight. And I'll tell you, this is a Donahoe team that looks totally different than what they did a year ago. We've got the highlights, Chad.
Well, I know they got a new regime, new head coach, trying to get something started, and you hope it's a little bit different because last year they lost 66-0 against the same Ragland squad, and they've lost 4 in a row to their counterpart. Going for some revenge tonight as we go into the highlights. We're going to pick it up a little bit less than a minute to go. 7-0 Donahoe is up, and the wind would take over, and then they'll kind of slow some things down. But Bill Smith definitely still sweating out there, still warming up for sure. 4th and 2 at the Ragland 40. James Binkwith with a 5-yard run for a first down. Then they're going to go to Phoenix. Ramsey, 35-yard touchdown pass to Kai Klecker. He's going to take it all the way for 6. Extra point's good. They're going to be up 14-0 over Ragland just like that. So now going back to later in the game, more Donahoe on offense. And Christopher Alexander is going to pick it off for Ragland at the 49-yard line. Big play, they needed that one as the Purple Devils would take over on offense. Going to go to the ground. Jagger is going to take this for a 9-yard pickup. Next play, they're going to stay on offense. This is a 4th down at the Ragland 20, and they're going to draw Donahoe off sides, picking up the first down. Big play, a lot of momentum for Ragland. Cox going to take a 6-yard touchdown pass in there for the score, 14-7. Now Ragland is going to be in. Well, he's going to be just short. They would punch it in, though. I promise. See? I'm not lying. Here we go. Touchdown over the left side. Now he's over the pylon. That's officially a touchdown. 14-7 as Ragland has cut that lead in half. More highlights later on in the first half. Kicking off for Ragland. This is going to be a beautiful kickoff return. Hayes Farrell. He's going to take this one 50 yards down the left sideline. Beautiful run, setting up the Falcons for more opportunities at points. You're going to be seeing a 4th and 5. There was a drive would stall. They would try for a 37-yard field goal. Snap, the kick, it's up, and it's going to be a little bit short and to the left. That is going to be no good for the field goal, so we go back to more highlights. There you go, head coach of the Ragland Purple Devils, Wes Tidwell. Got another fumble or a kickoff return. No, excuse me, this is a field goal attempt for 30 yards. This is going to be right of the goal post, but didn't matter. Donahoe doesn't need those field goals tonight. They go in to win it by a final score of 38-19. Big difference between 1 year.
And a big difference, Chad, in this team. Just eyeballing them. I saw Donahoe play last year. Saw them play tonight up there. Got Kai Kleckler, quarterback, did a great job. Then they've got some pretty good athletes on this team. Binkwith, Hayes Farrell, we saw him there. Bruce Downey, pretty good athlete for them as well. This is a better looking team. They're physically more imposing. It seems like they got better athletes there. Want to mention the quarterback from Ragland, pretty good 1A quarterback. Keep in mind, this was Ragland's first game tonight.
Yeah.
Jagger Lee is the quarterback over there. And, I think Ragland's going to get better, but I was totally impressed with the Donahoe Falcons and the turnaround that they've made this year.
First thing I noticed is the physicality. And Coach Smith can throw up some weight too. Now you talking about him sweating, but he can throw up some weight, and he'll do a phenomenal job in the weight room. And I've already seen the benefits of what he's done in the weight room and what he does do. He'll do that for all their sports. You can see that real quickly right there, but just what they were doing physicality-wise on the field.
Yeah, Ragland and Donahoe for years were in the same region. That region's split now, so Ragland went to the north, Donahoe stayed in the south. And in that region, we're going to go right now and look at the Class 1A regions. Our Team 1 Chevrolet Gadsden, as we promised you, the region rundown. That Class 1A Region 6, everybody talks about Wadley and Winterboro at the top, and rightfully so. You better be talking about Fayetteville because the Wolves are 2-0. They beat Childersburg last week, who beat Talladega tonight. But I'll tell you what, that other playoff positioning there, once you get past probably Wadley and Winterboro, Donahoe's going to have a chance, I think, guys, to get in the playoffs this year with what I've seen tonight.
Well, if they do, boy, Bill will have to get another check because he's done a good job right there doing that. But Fayetteville, quietly, when I was at the, well, I mean, you know, when I was
Give
at
that man a raise.
Yeah, when we were at the media days, it was real quiet. Because Limbaugh, they're talking about, you know, his team, and I mean, it's just a kind of quiet, how good they might be. I mean, you never know.
It's going to be wide open. I still think Wadley and Winterboro probably at the top there. But I tell you what, after that, it could be anybody in those 3 and 4 spots. We mentioned the change. Ragland moving to the north. They moved into this region, Class 1A Region 8, as we take a look at that region. Valley Head is a great team there. They're now 2-0. Look at the 2-0 teams now in this region. We thought at first with the new two new teams, Ragland and Spring Garden, might be the class. Spring Garden certainly taking care of business tonight against a good Pleasant Valley team, but Galesville 2-0. They beat that Donahoe team last week 42-28. They beat Asbury last night 58-7. And then you got Appalachian, who's now 2-0. They've beaten 2 teams that are up in class. Valley Head 2-0. This is looking like, guys, a tougher region than we thought maybe even 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I know that Gales will have some kickers. I mean, they've got kickers. I mean, you don't see a 1A team that has a guy that can kick the ball into the end zone consistently. That don't happen. When you got that in that league, you got an advantage.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap up our region rundown for Class 1A. When we come back, we still got a lot to cover. We've still got our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week, Ohatchee Locust Fork, East Alabama Top 10, and we have our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week announcement. All still to come on After the Game.
Wow, these guys are everywhere. I'm telling you.
Hey, you remember when we talked about doing some upgrades to the bathrooms and the floors?
I do.
Well, I think it's about time we check in to do it.
I know exactly who to call. They're everywhere.
From your kitchen, bathroom, living room, fireplace, or anything in between, even the golf course, Ted's is everywhere. Call today for your free in-home estimate.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand. The perfect catch.
The perfect stop. These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest-standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
McClellan Sports and Outdoors, locally owned and operated since 2008. We offer embroidery, sublimation, and screen printing, and we stock a large selection of team equipment. We have a large showroom with tons of gear and shoes to get you and your family ready for your next activity. Adidas, Under Armour, Maui Gym, Evo Shield, Wilson, and more. We are located in the heart of Calhoun County, here to serve our region with all your athletic needs.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Judd Edwards, State Farm Insurance over in Heflin, your local choice for insurance and financial services. Ride with the #1 auto insurance company in Alabama, helping your family protect what matters most. He'll help you out with your family and to ensure what counts. On the phone, online, or in person, his team right there in Heflin is ready to help you. Doing business in and for our community since 2020. Judd Edwards, State Farm Insurance, bringing you our Game of the Week. And it is Game of the Week time coming up. Before we get there, we're going to talk about our Farmers and Merchants Bank Spirit Scholarship. About 2 more weeks away from having our first candidate, so to speak, that you can vote for the Spirit Scholarship, as we'll be right there. We'll be filling that blob right there with all the information you need about the Spirit Scholarship from Farmers and Merchants Bank coming up in the coming weeks. Let's talk about our Game of the Week. Coach Short was out there at Ohatchee, Reagan Clark Stadium tonight for that 3A Region 6 showdown between Ohatchee and the Locust Fork Hornets tonight. We go take it out to Locust Fork. Here we go.
First drive for the Hornets. Quarterback Dino Embry calls his own number, runs toward the sideline, and picks up a huge gain for the Hornets all the way inside Ohatchee Indian territory. Now from the Wildcat, Landon Keith makes an incredible save here on the snap and finds some holes before being knocked out at the 40-yard line. Embry looking to go to the air, buys some time, and he's going to chuck it downfield. And he's going to find Levi White here for an incredible one-handed catch down to the Ohatchee 15-yard line. A few plays later, Keith calls his own number here, and he's going to punch it into the end zone, and the Hornets will decide to go for 2. Now for the 2-point conversion, Embry looks, drops back, and he finds White in the end zone. Hornets go up 8-0. Ohatchee looking to make something on their next possession. Jake Robertson finds Brandon Collins in the slot here. He's going to make a few moves, and he's going to take it the distance for the Ohatchee Indians. PAT would be no good. Ohatchee trails by a score of 8-6. Now Hornets driving, Embry rolling back, and he's going to make one guy miss. And then he's going to get it out of the pocket, and he's going to take it down inside the red zone here for the Hornets and set up for a first down. A few plays later, on a bad snap, Embry's going to scoop it up and trying to make something happen here for the Locust Fork Hornets. He's going to go to the other side of the field and throw deep, and he's going to find White after coming up to make a play, and White's going to take it inside to the 5-yard line for the Hornets. A few plays later, here Embry's going to keep it himself, and he's going to get in the end zone. Hornets are going to go up 14-6. Now Ohatchee with the ball. Robertson looked to go deep, but he finds Nicholas Horn of Locust Fork for the interception, and Horn's going to take it all the way inside the 20-yard line for Locust Fork. A few plays later, Embry looks to go deep again, and he's going to find Colby Hester near the goal line, and it's going to be his turn for an interception. Ohatchee looking desperately to find an answer to this Hornet offense. As we go into the second half, now Ohatchee with the ball. Handoff is going to go to Jaden Hurd for a nice gain to the near sideline. Then next play, he's going to hand off this time to Collins, and he's going to then pass to Hester for the touchdown. Ohatchee trails 26-12 at that point. Locust Fork will come out on top, 58-42.
Hey, this is Michael Short, Coach Michael Short with High School Football Alabama's After the Game here in Ohatchee, Alabama tonight on the Creek Bank with Coach Chris Finley. Coach, give me a little idea. I know it didn't end the way we wanted it to end tonight, but the crowd that we had here tonight, they was lined up all along the fence. Both teams, both sides, all the crowds were just great. It was like a playoff atmosphere.
Yeah, it really was. You know, I'm really proud of our crowd, and they brought a good crowd too. This is a big region opener right here. I think this is two teams that can compete to make the playoffs out of this region.
That's what I was thinking. You know, Coach, we're out here to open up the first ball game in your region play against Locust Fork, who is a team that has dropped down from 4A down to 3A, and a lot of times that gives teams an advantage. But I think tonight your kids played extremely hard, never gave up, and I know in the end of the game defensively things got a little bit hairy, but Coach, the first half your team played extremely well, and if you don't take away that kickoff return for a touchdown, it's even closer at the half.
Yeah, we gotta put it together. It's we're a half a team right now. In the first half we played better defensively, especially than we did last week, but couldn't put any points on the board. Couldn't get the offense rolling. We're on the field a lot, and that's one thing that I think we've got to get better at is we're putting our defense on the field for a whole lot of snaps right now between last week and this week. And you see it in this game. By the end of the game, we couldn't get off the field. We couldn't make a play. We were drained out there. We played so many plays. We've got to find a way to move the ball and keep our defense off the field a little better.
Yeah, and that's the thing that you see sometimes in offenses that score a lot of points. They almost force you to try to score every time you have the ball, and if you don't with a team like that, and boy, the Embry kid, number 4, is a great player. He is a dog. There's no doubt about that, and he also plays defense.
Yep. Yeah, 4 is a dog, 2 is a dog, 13, 52. I mean, they got a bunch of them. They got a bunch of grown men out there, guys that get after it. But I thought we fought. I'm obviously not pleased with the effort tonight, but nothing to do but try to get better.
That's all you can do, Coach. And Coach, you got another region game next week in the Piedmont Bulldogs. That's going to be another great game for y'all and another chance to step up. My observations, Coach, is there's going to be maybe 2 teams in this region that's not in the playoffs that could in another region be in the playoffs.
Right, which is why these early games matter so much. Try to get out of the gate. Try to get out of the gate fast and get some wins against some of these teams that we're going to have to compete against to get into the playoffs.
Well, Coach, I know you're going to work hard and your kids are going to work hard, and I look forward. It's early in the season and nothing but positives from here on out.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Tonight, Coach Short, Coach Finley from Ohatchee High School on the Creek Bank. Thanks, guys.
Coach Short, good job out there with our Judd Edwards State Farm Insurance Game of the Week. Just your impressions of the game overall, and I think what a lot of folks in this region, because we have 2 teams from Blount County in this region that our teams are not familiar with. J.B. Pennington, who lost tonight to Welborn 34-24, and this Locust Fork team who moved up from 2A to 3A. They were in the quarterfinals last year in Class 2A, lost to eventual state champion 5. Folks here in Etowah and Calhoun County, the Glencoe folks, the Westbrook folks, the folks from Piedmont and Welborn, they want to know about Locust Fork. What's the skinny on this Locust Fork team?
Find number 4. Find number 4 and 13. No, they've got a good football team. Their quarterback, last week had a great game. He's a phenomenal player. But number 13, I found out tonight, has not played football before. And he's out, and he's the guy that they're throwing the football to, and they keep throwing it to him, and he's made a lot of great catches. The thing about Ohatchee tonight, it was a great atmosphere. It was just like a playoff atmosphere, and you expect that out there on the Creek Bank. And I just, Locust Fork is going to be a team that I didn't really realize. I didn't give them enough credit, but that kid at quarterback, along with some of the other athletes they have, they've got 3 as good of athletes as anybody, and defensively they can run around and fly and tackle. But you know what's impressive about their quarterback? He plays inside linebacker also. He never comes off the field.
Wow. And as you mentioned, and we've talked about it here tonight, talked with Coach Jonathan Miller of Piedmont, next week a monumental Calhoun County Class 3A Region 6 game at the Field of Champions in Piedmont between Ohatchee and Piedmont. Already early in the season, Ohatchee's kind of got their back against the wall a little bit because they're trying not to go 0-2 in region play.
Well, you look at their schedule and you say, well, they're going to be real tough on the top, but it's going to be real tough every week in this region. Every game will be big. And for, everybody was talking about they'd give up a lot of points, but they were only down to, it was 20-6 at halftime. And they only give up 1 touchdown in the third quarter. It was 26-6 at the end of the third quarter. There's a lot of scoring went on in the fourth quarter. But that's just, when you got a team that's explosive as Locust Fork, that's what you're going to put up with. And we mentioned it tonight. You got to score every time you got the football. And Coach Miller even mentioned it tonight. There's going to be a lot of teams. There's going to be a lot of track meet type games this year in that region.
Absolutely. I think he was right on spot with that. And he's a defensive guy, so he knows what he's talking about when he says predicting that to come about. We mentioned Locust Fork moving up from 2A to 3A. A lot of teams in Class 2A in North Alabama very happy about that fact. Let's go now to our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown and take a look at our 2A regions. 2A Region 6, This is the region that Locust Fork would have been in, and they're not in it anymore. But guess who came? The folks here, the folks like Cleveland and Susan Moore, who moved down from 3A and Southeastern and West End, they didn't get a break because, yeah, they lost Locust Fork, but, Coach, they picked up Coosa Christian out of this region.
Yeah, they lost one fast team and picked up a lot faster team in Coosa Christian. I mean, that's not it. Coosa Christian, just get ready.
The prohibitive favorite, obviously, they beat a 6A team tonight on the road in Pell City. That tells you all you need to know about Coosa. They're the prohibitive favorite in that region. Let's go and look further north, Class 2A Region 8 now, or should say Region 7. Pisgah, last night, first time in 21 years, they beat Fife. This was at Sam Kennemer Stadium in Pisgah. Put a new Jumbotron up. Coach, that's the thing this year. It's not tents, it's Jumbotrons.
Yeah, and they had it lit up, too. I saw some video. They had it lit up last night, big time.
Pisgah, in our high school football, Alabama, the magazine, I had Pisgah picked as my preseason #1. They're making me look good there. And right now, you see North Sand Mountain. It looks like that maybe North Sand Mountain and Pisgah, the two teams from up on Sand Mountain, might be the class of that region right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you know what? What better birthday present could you get than Luke Pruitt last night beating Fife for the first time? It was his birthday. Imagine what that was like.
And by the way, yes, that is the son of legendary coach Dale Pruitt, also the brother of legendary coach Jeremy Pruitt, and he's making a legend of his own now with an undefeated #1 team in Class 2A at Pisgah with the Pisgah Eagles. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up here on After the Game. We've got our East Alabama Top 10 guys, and we're also going to name our Team of the Week next.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Terry Howell, Danny Shears, Fred Wilson, Carolyn Henderson, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you are considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. You'll be glad you did.
The game-winning touchdown.
A goal line stand. The perfect catch.
The perfect stop.
These are the moments that move you, but when a sports injury puts you on the sidelines, it's our job to get you moving again.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates is the longest standing orthopedic practice in East Alabama, providing exceptional care to thousands of athletes.
Shaping the next generation of legends.
Dedicated.
Dedicated to what moves you.
Anniston Orthopedic Associates, 8 a.m. Saturday Sports Injury Clinic. Every football season Saturday, 701 Layton Avenue, 3rd floor, Tyler Center.
What does it mean to be a community bank? At Noble Bank and Trust, it means you're more than an account number, you're a valued member of our community. Whether it's checking, savings, a loan, mortgage, or line of credit, Noble Bank and Trust meets all your banking needs with exceptional technology customized just for you while making you feel right at home. Make the switch to Noble Bank and Trust, and we will make sure you're taken care of from beginning to end. Noble Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I can't imagine life without Gwen, but we came dangerously close.
I was having chest pains.
Luckily, there was a hospital nearby that quickly discovered one of her arteries was 100% blocked. A hospital with life-saving technology and the latest in cardiac treatment, with an experienced team of doctors and nurses focused on fixing Gwen's heart. What hospital had all of that?
It was all right here at RMC.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Judd Edwards for your personal price plan today.
Tailgate season is here, and tailgate with a new Team 1 Chevy. With every test drive, you have the chance to win a new Team 1 Chevy tailgate package. With 1.9% financing and up to $10,000 discounts on all Silverados. Take a test drive with a chance to win a new tailgate package. Save big with Team One Chevy and be a winner. Remember, Team One Chevy, home of the best people, the best service, period.
USA Softball of Alabama bringing you our scoreboard here every Friday night on High School Football Alabama after the game. As we told you last week, next Saturday, September 7th in Oxford, they're having their 9/11 Never Forget Tournament. The proceeds support the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, and they'll honor heroes in attendance, armed forces, law enforcement, first responders, and if you want to be a part of that, you can check out USA Softball of Alabama and their 9/11 Never Forget Tournament. That will be in Oxford coming up 1 week from tomorrow on Saturday, September the 7th. We still have some regions to run down. As we look at our Team 1 Chevrolet of Gadsden region rundown, we got some 3A and 5A regions to look at. We'll begin in 3A Region 4. I'll tell you guys, Randolph County's undefeated, but so is Lee Scott. Beulah, amazingly, is undefeated. But the one that's getting my attention, Coach, you and I talked about this last week, the first game ever for the Glenwood School, that's in Phoenix City, their first game ever moved from AISA to the Alabama High School Athletic Association. They hosted Class 5A Valley, a great tradition-rich program. They beat Valley last week 21-20. And then tonight, they beat the #1 team in Class 1A, Elba. You heard of Alvin Henderson. It's committed to play for Auburn, one of the top running backs in the country. Glenwood beat them and beat them badly. I think it was 49-18, something like that. And I believe that game was at Elba. Glenwood really serving notice that they might, Coach, be the class of this region here in Class 3A Region 4.
Very well could, and keep an eye on them, because just watch them, because they'll end up being Class 4A and then 5A. It won't take but a couple years, and they'll move on up.
Exactly right, because of competitive balance. We continue taking a look now at Class, we're going to look at Class 5A, and we're going to stay in the South there as well as we take a look at Class 5A. We're actually going to go to the North 5A Region 6. This is a region we alluded to tonight a little bit, Coach. Lincoln and Moody 0-2, but they have played nowhere near the same caliber of competition. That is a big, big misleading 0-2 there for Moody. Jacksonville 2-0, Leeds 2-0, no surprise there. Center Point with a lot of talent, 1-1. St. Clair County, really good team. They lost to Montgomery Catholic, your defending Class 4A state champion. So this is a region, I think, Coach and Chad, it's a little bit stronger than we thought it was going to be at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know Jacksonville's they're going to get better and better each week. They're finding, they're a young football team, and they're going to be there. But again, everybody's saying, well, what's happened to Moody? Well, look who they play.
Yeah, that's
look who they play. Very misleading right there.
Yeah.
Very misleading. They're going to be there. You ain't got to worry about that. They've got 6A talent playing in 5A football.
You still think Jacksonville and Moody probably the favorites of that region, or you got anybody else in there penciled in?
Jacksonville is working hard right now to get in the playoffs.
Okay.
And Jacksonville, as you said, with their quarterback, they're getting better every week, already averaging about 42, 43 points a game.
And 3 guys that can rush the football.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get one injured, okay,
well, I think
we got 2 more.
I feel like I remember last year we were talking about like the line was young.
Yes, and they still are
undersized and young, and a year later, guess what? Those guys are all a year older, a little bit bigger, and starting to push some folks around.
It's time for our awards to remember. East Alabama Top 10 as we bring it back to the set here, guys. We've got a number of teams here from a number of classifications. So let's explain what this is all about. This doesn't mean the top 10 teams, period, in East Alabama. This is not meaning that the #1 team is going to beat the #10 team and vice versa and things like that. This is kind of a power type poll based on level of competition they're playing in their division. So we're going to begin with number 10. Still got Gadsden City in here. They beat a top 10 6A team in their class, lost to a top 10 7A team in Hewitt-Trussville tonight. Number 9, we've got here Moody. I know they're 0-2, okay? They're 0-2, but let me back out a little bit so folks can see that. They're 0-2, but the 2 were to Gainesville, Georgia, which would easily be a huge 7A here in Alabama. And that was a pretty close game. And then a close game tonight to a top 10 team in Class 6A in Oxford. on the road. So even though Moody is 0-2, they're going to win a lot of football games and make a deep playoff run, I feel like, in 5A. Number 8, Jacksonville, 2-0. They've beaten 2 Blue Bloods on the road in Etowah and Alexandria, so they've done everything that you can ask them to do. Number 7, we've got Coosa Christian. No big loss last week to Pierce County. That shows you how good Pierce County is when they come in. They gave up 41 last week to Pierce County. They come back tonight and hold 6A Pell City to only 7 at Pell City after Pell City had beaten Pelham 35-7. Number 6 at our East Alabama top 10, Spring Garden. Again, Spring Garden doing what they have to do, taking care of business against 2 2A teams. Above them, Spring Garden's a 1A, beating Sandrock, who won tonight, and beating Pleasant Valley, who had won last week at West End. Number 5 in our East Alabama top 10, Cherokee County. Nice bounce back win tonight at Arab, winning by 3 touchdowns against a good team. Number 4 in our East Alabama top 10, the Piedmont Bulldogs, taking care of business tonight against Sachs. They're now 2-0. Number 3, Oxford. Very impressive wins against Central Carrollton and against Moody. Number 2, Wadley. 15-15 at one point in the game with Horseshoe Bend, and they scored 47 unanswered.
Good Lord.
Yeah, they're number 2. And number 1, Central of Clay County. As we talked about last week, guys, probably their toughest test tonight with Ben Russell at home, a game that they won 35-28. Your impression of our top 10 there?
I just like the fact that Piedmont was able to follow up what they did last week. Coming off a win like that, you wonder how they're gonna play. Are they gonna be a little bit exhausted?
Yeah, and the thing I'll say is watching Cherokee County off of a tough home loss against a rival to come back and do the way they did, and for Coosa to get beat the way they got beat last week, and not only did they get beat, but they got beat on some physically. Had some kids hurt, had some kids that were beat up, and I'm sure that psyche was beat up a little bit. Yeah. And to come back against Pell City tonight and win the way they did,
strong.
I mean, that is very strong, especially for the number of kids they have and the classification that they are. That's a great win for Coosa.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, we got one more piece of video that we need to show you tonight, and that is going to be the game that I was at. Started off, I saw all the lightning in the sky out at Jack Stewart Field tonight. A lot of neat things going on, a lot of interesting things in that Piedmont and Sachs game tonight at Jack Stewart Field. Glenn Martin there, 54 years carrying the chains at Sachs High School.
That's a long.
When I played there, he was carrying the chains.
You see the win there, guys. You see the coaches meeting. This is when we had the delay. You saw Piedmont going to the dressing room. You see now their Sachs coaches taking down their tent coach on the sideline. And you'll see the lightning and the wind coming up here, the lightning back in the distance, and the wind as well, Chad. Here we go to action.
Yeah, some places had about an hour and a half worth of a delay, but I tell you, whenever they came back, Sachs was ready to go out of the gate. Jules McClellan with a big first down run there for the Sachs Wildcats, but it's actually going to turn it over on down. Piedmont now with the ball, and that's going to be quick work right up the gut. Nice run down to the inside the 10-yard line, and more Piedmont offense, and this is going to be picked off. It's going to be returned back to the Sachs 41. McClellan's going to pick that one off and come back. He's got to have the first run of the night on the highlights. Demarion Adams going to take a strong run, 16 yards over the left side. Bulldogs are on their heels a bit because Sachs is going to go to the ground again. Adams one more time, going to take the handoff, go over the right side this time. He's going to pick up 13 more yards. First down, Wildcats. McClellan, once again, a nice, strong run. Well, I tell you, you didn't see this last year from Sachs. So this is impressive set of downs here as they're trying to get the ball down to the end zone, and that's what they do. As Sachs will take a 7-0 lead over the Piedmont Bulldogs. LaJuan Curry with a 10-yard touchdown run. Piedmont, though, you don't have to have a bunch of 3-yard or 12-yard runs. You just throw it up top to Ish Bethel, and that's just how you get it. Get back in the end zone. Piedmont with a quick score, 52 yards from Cole Wilson. The PAT would be good, 7-7. All is your score. There you see as the Piedmont coaching staff is looking on. Sachs will get another couple runs here, but it would not be enough as Piedmont would hold on to win tonight. 34-13. Shades of Alabama-Miami back in 1992.
Yeah, absolutely. 34-13. Piedmont wins the game. We had head coach Jonathan Miller in earlier, and he talked about going back to Sachs to play, kind of a unique thing there. He spent so many years there, and that's the only
Yeah.
place he ever coached before going to Piedmont, both as an assistant and a head coach. So it had to be a special night for him to go back to Jack Stewart Field and take on his old school there from the visiting sideline, looking at the press box at Jack Stewart Field instead of having it behind him.
Yeah, and he understood what it was like for all of us guys to sit in that old dressing room over there sweating to death. He got to feel that tonight. I got 10 seconds. I got to say something. Tonight in the ball game that I was out there at Ohatchee, Jimmy Buckaloo tonight was refereeing.
Yeah.
The guy fought in Vietnam. And he's out there tonight, and he's under, taking a lot of treatments for cancer right now, and he's out there still grinding. There's a lot of prayers for him. I'm just real proud of him being out there tonight.
A legendary official. We've got just a couple more things to cover. One of those, we want to tell you about our fine friends at Ted's Floors and Beyond. Let's tell you about those folks. Listen, this is a local business, and they prioritize customer satisfaction. They have in-home consultation service, expert designers that come to your house, help you plan and visualize the perfect space, and they are fantastic folks to deal with. If you have any flooring or cabinet needs, Ted's Floors and Beyond, go by and see their showroom on US Highway 431, right there in Sachs, just down from Jack Stewart Field and Sachs Stadium. And our final extra point of the night, presented by State Representative Randy Wood out of District 36. We talked about it. Next week's Class 3A Region 6 showdown between Piedmont and Ohatchee at the Field of Champions in Piedmont will be the 57th meeting between the Calhoun County rivals. Piedmont leads the overall series 35-19-3. However, folks may not know this, the Indians have dominated the series recently, winning 3 of the last 4 Ohatchee has against Piedmont. Piedmont won 11 straight before those last 4 contests. Check this out, guys. The Indians and the Bulldogs began playing all the way back in 1925, almost 100 years ago, a classic Calhoun County rivalry. It's come to our point in time of the night to wrap things up. We always do that with our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week announcement. Last week it was easy. I think it was easy this week as well. Our Ted's Floors and Beyond Team of the Week, getting the Anniston Orthopedic Score shirts, the Awards to Remember Tough Guy trophy as well, and the Ted's shirts. We're going to bring those to Gadsden, to Black Creek Parkway, to the Coosa Christian Conquerors, the little, really 1A school, actually 2A, going into Pell City tonight and knocking off the 6A Pell City Panthers 17-7. Congratulations to Coach Mark O'Brien and the Coosa Christian Conquerors. We're headed to Gadsden for Team of the Week. That's going to wrap it up for After the Game, presented by the Calhoun County Commission. For Coach Michael Short, Chad Barnett, and our entire really hard-working team here at After the Game, have a blessed weekend. We'll see you back here next Friday night, barring weather, at 10 o'clock.
No kidding.